Huge transfer news is hitting Newcastle United, and as we prepare to face the Red Devils this Sunday, can Newcastle get it over the line? Let's find out right here on Toon Tactics TV, folks.
Brilliant from Sham. And now Murphy can take on the shot. Fabian Schär
All right. How are you all guys doing? Good evening, or good evening if it was Unai Emery talking to you guys. How are you all doing? I hope you guys having a blessed day and so far a blessed week as we head into Friday tomorrow. And guys, as always, I think it's a Thursday thing. I prepare, I do my best to prepare everything that we've got going on. We've got the pre-match previews and everything else, and then you get all this transfer news hitting, wham, bam, this person, that person, and like from our top tier journalists as well. So we're going to talk about all of that and more. And I'm also hoping that special guest Strasbourg Steve will be able to jump on with us today to be able to decipher for all the news, decipher for all the help us do the tactical breakdown for the Manchester United game this Sunday, but also decipher all the transfer news and as well as other kind of really interesting news that we got here from Craig Hope from the Daily Mail in regards to Newcastle United, Paul Mitchell, and kind of Piff and all the kind of wider plans, kind of world domination essentially that we have got planned. But guys, as always, folks, it's always a blessing to be with you guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And always, Aaron Kane, good to see you, sir. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, Aaron. I hope you are blessed and having a great day. Also, good to see consistent Mag, and indeed you are consistent. Good to see you. Evening, Philip. Evening to you, sir. I hope you are well. Liam Knowles, always a blessing to see you, sir. I hope you're well. Great last minute for us. Did you watch the game? I watched the game as well in preparation for today. Cherky putting in the pressure on while Manure last rest players. Will Manure rest players? Really good question, actually. Fantastic question. And let me know what you guys think. Were you guys imagining how Man United are going to set up against us? We're going to talk about that and more because I was thinking about it all the time. So in terms of like watching Lyon, watching Man United, obviously against Lyon, I'm thinking, okay, what would we do different? How do we play against them? You know, what is Sunday going to be like essentially? But you're right, Liam. You know, they would have had way less rest if obviously they had the game today. Then what's today? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They've got like essentially 48 hours, essentially kind of rest before the Sunday game, where they're traveling up to us. We've got like 2-3 days rest on them. So, and we're playing at St. James's Park. So all to go, all to play for. But guys, as always, it's a blessing to see you. And let's hit it off. We're talking about it already. We're talking about I want to kick things off with a Man United preview, and hopefully at some point when Steve joins us, he'll be able to join us as well and talk about it. We're talking about Man United, and then we'll talk about the transfer news as well. So let's get down to it. Let's just from like in terms of just from today's stats, from today's game, we've got it fresh in our minds. We've just seen Man United perform against Lyon. I thought it was a good performance, especially for playing away from home. If I'm speaking objectively, and looking at Man United in general, I know that they are getting a lot of stick because of the way they're performing, and just in terms of the league and throughout the season in general, and it is deserved. It is deserved. And obviously, Ruben Amorim I think they've lost 15 games. We're going to check the table now, actually. And a lot of the kind of criticisms against them is justifiable. However, in my personal opinion, and I've been thinking this for a little while, is that the idea, the foundations of what Mr. Amorim is trying to put into this Man United team is beginning to show. And it's evident for me, I don't know what you guys think from your perspective, that it's gonna take better players in order for his plan for the team, for his tactical setup, the philosophy of the team, everything he's trying to do, is essentially going to take better players for the execution of his plan to to be fulfilled on the pitch, essentially. Whether that's going to mean, they go back to going challenging for league titles and kind of doing all of that kind of stuff again remains to be seen. But in my opinion, there is an idea of what they're trying to do. So currently, obviously, they've just played Lyon. We're gonna assess that Lyon game in a moment. But as we speak about them, let me make sure. Can you guys see that? Did I put it on the screen? Oh no, I didn't. That's why it's good to check these things, because I'm here thinking that you guys can see what I'm seeing. You can't see what I'm seeing. So let me just share my. Excuse me, guys. Couldn't get the mute button in time. All right, so let me make sure you guys can see that. Excellent. You can see that. So, where are we? Okay, so Man United 13th, currently in the league table, 31 games played. How many wins is that for them this season? They have 10 wins. They have 10 wins, 8 draws. Here we go, 8 draws and 13 losses, which is incredible for them. And with a minus four goal difference, they've scored 37 goals so far this season and conceded 41. In comparison to us, they've conceded 2 more goals than us. Is it 2 more goals? It's 2 more goals than us, but you can see where their area of problem is, which is around goal scoring itself. And we're going to see that their players in Xerxes, Hoyland, and others have given provided a very low return in terms of what they're achieving at the moment. So you can probably, in terms of motivation for the game, they're 4 points behind Brentford, who are 12. And obviously they've played Europe. The only kind of real kind of opportunity for success for Man United this season is in Europe, and they are so far in the position where they've obviously just drawn 2-2 with Lyon, and so they've got every opportunity to progress into the next rounds. Let me just see something. I was looking for something that I could find on them here, but it's not here. Because I was talking about their forwards. Where are you? That's in Europe. I'll find it on FOTMob, I suppose. So let me just look at. Let's look at their. Let me look at their Lyon. Let me look at the Lyon game, and then we'll backtrack into kind of looking at the overall stats and seeing what's going on with them. But while I do that, I think we've got a few comments in the chat. See what you guys are saying. Got a few more people coming in. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Good to see you. And for those that have seen the Lyon game, let me know what was your thoughts on the Man United game. What were you guys? Were you guys impressed? Were you guys thinking it's more of the same? Were you thinking, yeah, we'll definitely have them, like we're gonna crush them, or were you thinking that it's going to be a really, really tight game? Let me know. Aaron Kane, been some exciting links today. Yes, Cunha, that's the one I was really, really excited about, and I am very excited about. Huijsen, very interesting as well. That one, the development of that one and how that's come out. We're talking about that. Trafford, I didn't see the Trafford one. I guess in my mind it's already concluded. So I didn't see the Trafford one. Let me know what the Trafford one was saying. All quality players, but no out and out right winger. Maybe that's the one that's top secret. It's going to be Noni Madueke. All right. Liam knows Man United looked comfortable on the ball. They did. They did. Yeah, they do look comfortable in the ball with no high press from Leon. A whole different ball game on Sunday. That's true. They're not going to be. They're not going to have time to be. They're not going to be given the time that it's in his part that Leon gave. Excuse me, Aaron Cave. I think the key for us is to make the game as physical as possible and play with that high intensity. Man United have shown that they can't deal with the physical teams. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. Oh, and brilliant. I have the man, the myth, the legend, Strasbourg Steve.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm even better now for seeing you, sir. How are you doing? How is your day going?
Good, bro. Good. Just got home from work, so yeah, just chilling, man. Just chilling.
So you would have missed the Leon game.
Nah, I watched it a bit on my phone. I caught a good amount of the game. It was kind of dead at work. I don't know why I didn't get out earlier, to be fair, but hey, I got paid to watch some football on my phone. I can't really complain.
You can't complain.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Fair play. We're just going through the comments. We're gonna go to the Man United game, and as you probably be aware, there's been a few real big transfer news today. I'm very, very keen to get your kind of take on them and see what your thoughts are on that. So let's just see what the comments are saying, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We've got our man Strasbourg Steve here, so we're gonna get some fantastic.
You talking about this game, yeah? The Leon Man United game.
Yeah, also I was going to use the Leon Man United game, but also just going to give a brief overview of Man United as well, how they're doing this season. I was saying actually, Strasbourg Steve, I want to get your kind of idea on this as like with Man United. Well, actually, before I do that, I said I promised to read the comments. I'll read the comments now and I'll ask you. I've got a question I'm going to make sure I ask you about Man United. Aaron Cave, I think the key for us is to make the game as physical as possible against Man United and play with that high intensity. Man United have shown they can't deal with the physical teams. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Liam knows we could have had Huijsen, that's true, last summer, but was seen as a risk coming back from an ACL. As we had Sven and the cells of the same injury, quality ball playing centre back. Yeah, and we ended up going for Lloyd Kelly instead, obviously, as well. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Hindsight is a
lucrative commodity.
Yeah, that's it. The Villa fan, God bless you, sir. Good to see you. Good evening. I hope you're well. Hey, you guys put up a terrific fight at PSG. They're an incredible team, but it's good to see you as well. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm sure you guys are back. Let me know, Villa fan, if you're backing yourselves to overcome PSG at your stadium. Let me know. What do you reckon, Steve? Do you reckon it's possible for Villa to turn it around against PSG at their stadium? You're not seeing it?
That's a tough ask because PSG defensively didn't give Villa too much.
No.
It'll be different at Villa Park. They'll have chances, but I think with Marquinhos back in there, and I think with Pacho's brilliant form, the recovery pace they have in Nuno Mendes and Hakimi, and the way they win the ball back so quickly, their whole team just working like animals. And yeah, their chemistry is freaking crazy, man. PSG, like they've grown as a side a lot since Enrique got joined. They've grown a lot as a team because they weren't scintillating. And keep in mind, this is in the league as well. Earlier in the season, they had some meh results, not losses, but they drew a few games here and there. But I think it's a bit too much of a big ask. I'd probably go like a draw, possibly. I could see a draw, like a 1-1.
I agree. I think they're a really exciting team to watch as well, Steve. I really I really enjoy watching them play.
Leon tonight were pretty enjoyable to watch as well.
Hey, absolutely. I love seeing Shirk. I forgot the other kid's name. I think the other kid. That's it.
Number 69. Yeah.
How old is he?
24.
Right. When he's in the mood, he really He really can dribble, get past players, got a lot of flair out about him.
He needed to work on his. To be fair, Lyon finishes. They scored 2 kind of fluky goals. I mean, Onana was horrific, absolutely horrific tonight. But Lyon's problem in this game, and I said it before to people about Lyon, is that defensively they have problems dealing with balls in the air. That's their biggest weakness.
Absolutely.
Leo gave him some problems on the weekend. Diakite scored.
I watched that game as well.
Yeah. So in the air, Lyon are susceptible. Going forward, though, they get goals. That's the 12th straight game that Lyon have scored 2 goals. No one else in Europe has anywhere near. It's very hard to score 2 goals.
Yes.
Very hard.
Yes.
But Lyon have attacking depth, even with Fofana and Nwama injured. And to be honest, if it's a Lacazette maybe earlier in the season, then what's it called? If Lacazette was in his form earlier in the season, he put some of those chances away.
Absolutely.
He scuffed a few of them.
He did. There was that chance that was created for him early.
Turkey cut back.
Yeah.
On the right. And then he had,
that deserved to be finished, man. That deserved to be finished. Aaron Kane, surprised Lascelles has got an extension as well. Brilliant player to have around the dressing room, but with Shaw and Kraft, who can slot there and don't see Lascelles getting much game time. And obviously, that's in the back of Lascelles getting his contract renewed. I think Callum Wilson also is going to get his contract renewed. Me personally, Steve, is that we're not going to gain anything by selling them because obviously they're on the final year of contracts. They want to stay as well. And for me, so long as they want to be around the team, which I think they do, and be positive, because I think there's a lot that goes into the squad building. I understand that there's you need obviously skills, you need ability, you need all of that, but you need your other statements as well. And in terms of like the time, I don't think Lascelles and Callum Wilson, we'll talk about Lascelles in this case, but I think there'll be the same thing for Callum Wilson. They're not banging down House door demanding to be first teamers. Like I know, Aaron, you're not saying that, for instance, but like, you know, so long as they're not doing that, there's no reason to sell them. I think the squad, the team is going to continue to evolve and change, and younger players are going to come in. And an extreme example of that is Chelsea, who are full of young players, and you can just see some of the pitfalls of that. I know what your thoughts are, Steve, but I don't see it detracting from us from our squad. I don't see this detracting from us financially in keeping these guys. And so long as they're kind of adding to it in terms of team morale, leadership, supporting House, supporting the team, maybe when we're kind of, you know, FA Cup third round playing Port Vale away,
right,
and then the Wednesday following we're playing, you know, away to Real Madrid. It's easier to put on the Lascelles rather than putting your best right centre back or Sven Botman in those games. So I know what your thoughts are on that.
It shouldn't detract from getting in players. Like Lascelles should be like a 5th choice center back. That's what it is. And as long as he's fine, like me personally, obviously if I was playing it, if I myself was Jamal Lascelles, yes, I'd love playing for Newcastle, but at the same time, retirement's coming soon.
Yes.
Do you want to, if he's happy doing it, if he's happy being the locker room guy at a club and he wins, you know, obviously won the Carabao Cup this year, maybe how long he stays, maybe he can add to that. But I mean, if he's cool with it, I think it's more of if he's cool with it. Because he knows he's not going to play ahead of Cher, Byrne, Botman, and another center back or 2 that I think we need to sign. So as long as he's fine with it and he's happy, he's not kicking up a fuss. Same goes for Kraft as well, and Target. If he's fine with it, then cool. It's not on crazy money, but eventually we do have to let go, to be fair. Eventually we
100%.
But
100%.
yeah, if he's fine with it, I don't see any issues with it.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
agree.
would just want to play football if I'm close to the end of my retirement. That's just me though.
No, that's true.
I'm also not Jamal Lascelles. I don't know what it's like to be pro footballer. So
And maybe someone said, "Hey, Saudi will be waiting for you at the end of this." So
Saudi, maybe a newly promoted. Maybe he goes abroad to play in, I don't know, Greece
yeah.
or something. Maybe just do something.
Or he might end up being a coach. He might end up being a coach at Newcastle.
Yeah.
It's just another way. Maybe he's like the first Scott Carson, but as a centre back. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, he's ends up being
Right.
40 years old, but he's like, we all know that he's just like, he's, you know, making up a quota, coaching, all this other stuff. I don't know. That might be it. Bobby Fairview, big up Philip. Bless up the chat. God bless you, sir. Glad to be here. Good to see you, Bobby. Always a blessing. Aaron Kane, better hope so. If he didn't hear you, Philip, absolutely. I said, Steve, that I said something about Madueke. I said, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Some of them along the lines of Madueke coming on, and Sophie B's really not keen on Mr. Madueke. But I think that I saw, yeah, here we go. I saw a message from Bobby Fairview saying that Noni delivered today for Chelsea. I think Chelsea played, I can't pronounce the name of the team.
Warszawa.
I knew you could pronounce it. I just knew that. So he's delivered today, which is good. Yeah. Consistent Mag FC. If Brentford want 100 million for Mbeumo, I just think that's just it's just that one is just.
Same thing what they did with Dibbling, 100 mil. Like
everyone's just throwing up.
That's what, if someone wants to buy this shirt off me and I don't really want to sell it at all, I'm just gonna be like, all right, fine, $300.
Yeah,
nothing more, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So exactly. This shirt is not worth $300.
How badly do you want it, isn't it?
Exactly, and this is what this is.
Right.
This is exactly this is a negotiation tactic. They don't want to sell Mbeumo. They wish Mbeumo would stay until the end of his career because he keeps them in the league. And again, I keep saying about Brentford and Brighton, they're far closer to being a team that can qualify for Europe or win an FA Cup or get into a final or something, rather than a side that's looking like a relegation team.
Yeah.
Keep those high level players as long as you can, or you catch out when they want to leave.
Yeah, I agree. So for 100 from Mbeumo, I'd look elsewhere instead of spending the majority of our budget in the window, either Bakayoko or another right winger. Meta Football, good to see you, Meta Football. God bless you. PSG made Liverpool look like amateurs. Can't see Villa doing much, but you never know. Aaron Kane, if there's Redu, by the way, what a player. And I remember when Newcastle were linked to him as well. Gosh, we've got a lot of comments. Really happy to see that. I'll spend about 5 minutes on Man United, and then because I've got some stuff on Cunha that I really, really want to talk to you about. I want to
the Craig Hope tweet.
The Craig Hope tweet. I got the articles up, and there's some other stuff that he's got on his because I've got access to the behind the paywall as well. So I want to ask you some questions on him as well. So the Villa fan, we tried the best attack I've seen us go up against. Due is something special. What he is. Was hard to keep quiet. 2-1 I would have taken, but 2-1 lost. But coming back from 2 goals down will be tough. We'll try. Fair play to you. I can't pronounce Mikotadze.
Mikal Tadze.
Georgian, okay. Had a bland Ajax stint, but isn't doing bad. He isn't. Yeah, sometimes maybe it's just the environment. Go on, Steve.
Ajax were not in a good. Yeah, that was that. They were not doing good like a year or two ago. They're about to win the Eredivisie this year. But
they're about to win it, which is crazy. After they
got Francesco Farioli is a very good manager. Very
amazing. Sophie B, good to see you. What did I miss, Aaron? I promise you, Sophie, you haven't missed anything. No one said anything. Philip raving about my yeah. Sorry, you called that. Brilliant. Evening to you, Sophie B. Hope you had a great day. Lee, I'm watching from the start. I think they play very slow. Or is that Man United? Yeah. Sophie B. Lascelles is fine for a contract, but Wilson, it's a no for me.
Yeah.
Like Sophie's very decisive about where she wants to go. That's the way to be. They can ask. Oops, sorry, I got there. Did I miss it? Oh, sorry. They can ask 400 million. That being Brentford, but we will have 1 year. But he will have 1 year on his summer. Yeah, and if I was, there's the other aspect of all this is in Mbeumo himself. Like if he wants to go, it depends on how serious we are about him. To be honest,
Yeah.
Can you imagine a window where you get Mbeumo and Cunha? I don't know. It seems a bit
serious attacking.
Yeah, right. Like it seems
serious, and that would allow us, because I want to see Eddie every once in a while just switch up the formations.
Okay, yeah.
Just
speaking of that,
because against certain teams, the 4-3-3 don't work. Sometimes you need to go a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-1-2 or whatever.
That's
right?
it. That's it.
But yeah, if we hypothetically got both of those, then Eddie, you could be all right. Freaking if we go against what's it called? If it's a big game, we're playing Liverpool at home, and we need, we want to go and score goals because we know that they'll have goals. Go 4-3-1-2. Cunha 10, Isak and Mbeumo up top.
Exactly.
But I don't think we'll get. That would be crazy. I'd love it, but
let's read this article and let's see what they say. But we've got one more comment. We've got a couple more comments. Meta Football, big up, and until next time, big up to you, sir. Smash them likes up, people. Whoa, Bojo, good to see you, sir. God bless you. Yo, Phil, what do you think of the list of clubs queuing up for Dean Huijsen? That's another question I'm going to ask Steve in a moment as well. We're going to talk about it. I think Arsenal might sell Gabby and get him. Why else would Arsenal be in for him? Great question. We're going to talk about that now. Mobojog is an Arsenal fan, so I'm sure you want to hear what we've got to say as well. Sophie B, do you think Cunha would be a Joe Linton replacement? We're going to talk about that as well. Really good stuff. You guys are stealing my thunder here. I was going to be talking about all this stuff. Brilliant. Mobojog also, as the famous saying goes, where were you entertained? We were. Well done, Arsenal. Very well done, Arsenal. All right, so let me talk. We're not going to talk about Man United too. People aren't overly concerned about Man United today. I don't know if that means, guys, that you're very confident about the game, because so far nobody's asking about Man United. But let me ask you, Steve, whilst we're talking about them. So obviously they've played Lyon today. The game finished 2-2. A bit of Lyon scored first, then it was Man United that equalised, and Man United took the lead. And then Lyon scored obviously the last minute goal through Cherki. Interesting attacking momentum here. Seems fairly evenly spread out. Looks like Lyon had the first half. A little bit more scattered in the second half. Man United possibly edged it. It
was a draw. It was a reflected result, the scoreline. Both teams had chances, took a few of them, albeit Lyon's goals were because of Onana mistakes, but then you could argue Lyon should have scored some easier chances.
Can you see Onana's rating here?
Yeah, it's fucking awful. he decided, and this is football karma. This is why this shit is real, right? You say that you're way better than Lyon, and then
did he actually say that though?
Huh?
Did he actually say that? Was a journalist? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Amrin was like, "Oh well, there were comments before saying Lyon are a good side, but it's like, why are you talking?" I'm a Man United fan. I'm like, yo, Onana, why are you talking? You haven't screwed up or anything lately. Why even put that out into the universe? That energy, that bad vibe. Like, why do? And then he does. Yeah, it's football karma.
A part of me hopes he says something about Newcastle. Like, we
don't need him to. Don't need to.
Just to get the spirit. Just to get give us that extra.
The next thing, no. The next thing we're gonna hear out of Onana is a freaking apology statement. My brother's gonna have to come up. Seriously? They were showing videos of him after the game today. He's practicing with the goalkeeping coach. Like, what? Crazy.
Oh my word. So, so this is my question I was going to ask you, Steve, in general about Man United.
Yeah.
I read a few of the stats, but I think my overriding question for you is: so my thoughts. Do you see despite the results and the outcomes for that Man United have got so far? Can you see what Amorim is building tactically, the idea, his philosophy, the foundations of it? What I was saying to the audience earlier, before you kind of give your take on that, is I thought that I can see the idea of what he's trying to do. I just think it's to do with that he hasn't really got the players to execute the idea. Whether that means once he gets those players maybe in the summer, whether that means they're going to shut the table is a different conversation entirely. But I can kind of see the idea of what they're trying to do. But maybe I'm reading it too much. What are your thoughts when you watch Man United? Can you see what Amorim is trying to build? How do you think kind of they're tactically setting up? Like, what's your kind of thoughts on them? Like, can you see Amorim's philosophy on that team?
Yeah, I can. In certain games, like in the bigger games, plays more defensive, and they actually get decent results for their standards right now. Like they drew with Liverpool, drew with Man City. Like they could draw with us. They can get a draw because defensively, they're looking all right. Besides Onana, which is, by the way, his fault. This is, and Flawless will tell you all about this. His selection of his personnel is why he's in the situation that he's in. You don't have to. You don't have to play Onana. You have other goalkeepers that academy. You can play by India. Like you're not. This isn't a like gun to your head. You have to do this. You don't have to play Garnacho, who's a player who's screaming out for a. I mean, that guy he's too frantic. He's too much. He doesn't have it up here. He thinks he's far better than he is, but his actual ability is not that impressive.
It's different.
Yeah. And so, I mean, what's it called? Højlund, that guy's a lost cause as well. As soon as they subbed on Xerxes, he scores. And this has been happening. Xerxes been like, as a substitute under Amorim, actually has a positive impact, but then they don't start him over Højlund, who does next to nothing.
Yeah.
Just being super honest. Like he is just like, there's no standout attributes. Like they need to upgrade on both of those.
Yeah.
They need to upgrade on both of those. And then Bruno Fernandez as well. I think he's a decent player, but then some people say he's as good as De Bruyne. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? How sloppy he is at times, how frantic he is. It's like like it's his personnel lets him down. Like that's the biggest problem. And he can play Cheeto, what's it called? Cheeto Obi Martin. That kid, I'm not saying he's amazing, but to be better than Højlund nowadays, it's not that hard. Seriously.
So you take the risk, like you would say, take the risk.
I think it's more of a personnel issue, but the manager doesn't have to play them. Like how did we stumble across Lewis Miley? Because we had so many injuries, but we know he's better than Longstaff now. If Lewis Miley never played for Newcastle in the first team, we wouldn't know what we had. Truly.
That's true. That's true.
These youth players, these players in academies and stuff like that, especially Man United's, who have a very, very proud history of their academy. They've produced many a decent player.
They do.
Many, many, many. Like those guys, their whole lives, they work towards getting their first team debut. I don't think that you would be I don't think you'd be in an academy of a top division football club in Europe or whatever if you didn't have mentality to be like, okay, I don't care if it's a derby, I don't care if it's a UCL final, I don't care if it's a friendly. I want to play because I want to show that I what's it called? I want to show that I
It's not to
belong.
prove.
in the
Yeah,
team.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, and that's what the youth players do. That's what the youth players do.
Yeah.
Like they're hungry, they'll work hard, they'll put in challenges, and when you have senior players of any team who are massively underperforming or they're so inconsistent where they're not dependable, play a youth player, and then you might get a Manu, you might get a, it's one of those. So Amarim's a decent manager, but his selection is letting him. They're gonna play Onana in the game on Sunday. Is that a mistake? That's a big mistake. Yes. Would you do that?
No.
Right. None of us would.
Well, it cost them both.
Why is a man?
Sorry, go on. Sorry, go on, Steve. Go on.
So me and you wouldn't play Onana. None of us in the chat would, because he's shown to be so inconsistent.
Yeah.
And he's just not good enough. So try something new. So why is a manager who has won multiple league titles in Portugal and done well with Braga, who are outside of that big three, he won silverware there as well, playing good football, tactically getting subs right and all that. Why is he not doing that? Because it's going to cost him.
Well, it cost them today. They should be walking away 2-0. They should be walking away 2-0 victors, but they're going away 2-2.
Yeah.
And now Amarim's in the quandary that if he drops Onana, it feeds into what Mateus just said and the whole media storm about that. And now you're almost going into the game in the handicap. So you're kind of in a catch-22. Do you get what I mean? Like, because
if you stop playing Onana from the start, then you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Then he wouldn't be in the mess.
Then you wouldn't be in the situation.
It's a mess of your own creating. If they start Bayindir on Sunday, I'm like, oh fuck! I wish they played Onana. And United fans would be like, thank God. Nobody thinks it's undeserved.
No. Eddie Howe will be watching the game thinking, and it's saying exactly what Aaron Kane here is saying. Onana is so bad, we should be peppering their goal at every opportunity, and we will be like Isak, Barnes. Barnes has got his shooting boots on. He's feeling it. He's playing angry. I'm going to talk about Barnes in a moment as well. Gordon's fit, by the way. We're going to talk about that. He's going to come in the second half, in my opinion. But they're just going to be taking every opportunity to pepper that goal. Sophie Beavan's talking about it here as well. It was Onana looking around at the crowd, taking. Oh yeah, I remember
mentality.
that. Yeah. At the goal kicked and does that absolute howler.
Mentality.
It's insane. It's true. Spot on there, Sophie. He was. Did you see it, Steve? You were just looking at the crowd before. Bro.
Mentality. He's focused on other stuff. You need guys that are like freaking Emi Martinez. Where they and back it up. They can cash checks.
Yeah.
Because they're able to.
Yeah.
Don't
absolutely.
Cash checks that you can't cash.
Yeah. Just stay humble, huh? That is the key.
Like Zlatan is the craziest ego. You could say like top 10 human beings of all time, but he was an amazing footballer. Amazing. Because he could talk and then he could go out and score.
Yeah. And it was part of his whole thing, actually, what he was doing.
Yeah, and Onana thinks he's a Zlatan level caliber player, and he's just not. So stop talking, because then you wouldn't be getting the smoke.
So you can almost see what the problem is in Man United. Now they've obviously got Rashford.
Garnacho has the same problem, by the way.
Garnacho, it's all there. Wobojog says here's good. Oh, by the way, good. God bless you, Wobojog. Good to see you. Beefing Matic is wild. Like the guy is almost EPL royalty for his Chelsea days. 100%. You have to be
super underrated player, by the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Super underrated.
Sophie B, I can see what he is trying to do, but I just can't see it working in the Premier League.
Expand on that. I think they're talking about Amarim. Expand on that, Sophie. Because
okay, yeah. Okay, go on.
We see Brentford play with the back three. They do fine.
Okay.
We've seen many teams in EPL play three at the back. Many teams. Man City, when they won the treble, 3-1-4-2 with Stones in front. They had better personnel, of course, but a 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1, however you want to look at it, that can work in any league. Like the formation you choose and then the way you apply are two different things. A 4-4-2 under Stoke is different under Tony Pulis's Stoke.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
4-4-2 is far different to the early 2000s Real Madrid Galacticos 4-4-2.
Yes.
One was offensive minded and one was defensive minded with defensive wingers and then two out and out strikers. Whereas, so just because you play a certain formation, it's about how you how do you play it? You can play a super attacking 5-4-1. You can also play a very defensive 4-3-3. Eddie Howe has played super attacking 4-3-3 football. Also played counter-attacking football
Yes.
with a 4-3-3.
Yes.
We've also seen him like our shape defensively off the ball is a 5-4-5-1. So I don't think it's the formation is the thing for Amorim. I think his personnel.
It's the players. It's the personnel because I don't know what your like view of. So this is their average position. This is Man United's average position here against Lyon today. This is exactly what you're saying, Steve. Like it's 3-4-3 on paper, but what you actually get on the pitch is a whole different thing. So we shouldn't get overly hung up on the 3-4-3 thing. So if you can see, like if you guys can see here, it's from down going up. So obviously Onana is here at the back. So this is right at the back. It's a free at the back, essentially.
Yeah.
With Mazraoui right at was Mazraoui pretty much staying as the last man in defense. Then you've got Harry Maguire, who we know kind of helps in the build-up a lot and is quite proactive in the press. And next to him is Lenny Euro, who you can see here, obviously, also stays quite high up. But also kind of helps, exactly, kind of join in the play here. I think he even had a shot today as well.
He scored?
He did.
Scored a header?
He did, he did. He scored a header and he had a shot as well. So I don't know if this is a Lyon specific thing today, so it's hard for me to say this, but I saw them creating a lot of overloads on this left side of Euro, Dorgu, who's an interesting role of Dorgu, because obviously Dorgu is kind of like, you can see obviously a lot of the heat maps is like the red hot heat is an advanced role. So him pushing up like this, the idea is then, the idea is supposed to be, I would imagine this is the problem, isn't it? I was literally about to say, the idea would be Dorgu pushes up, and then what should happen is it allows the other three, that being Hoyland, who's the other kid that was with them, Garnacho, to tuck in. Positionally, they do this. They're not too bad at it. But if you look at their heat maps, right, this is where I see the gap. This is Bruno. It looks amazing because it's everywhere. But the problem is, for me, it's everywhere. So because then Bruno Fernandez has to be very positionally disciplined. So when they're in attack, what's his position? When they're in defense, what is his position? Because he seems to be like everywhere, every time. And predominantly, I can see Newcastle from our end, because this is them on their left side going up. So they're on our right side. Who's on our right side? Murphy. You can see also Isaacs, who plays across the lines, and obviously Kieran Trippier and Tonali. They're going to outthink them on that side. They're going to if Bruno Fernandez is in the wrong position whilst Dorgu pushes up. They go up, they do the attack. Dorgu pushes up as he likes to do here.
Yeah.
And the attack breaks down. And Bruno Fernandez, instead of being kind of in a place where he can support Yeleni Euro and drop back, and there's a gap here, they're going to get exploited. Now, behind them is Casemiro, who again is in a more advanced position. I think obviously this is Lyon. I don't think Casemiro is going to be as advanced. But Casemiro hasn't got the athleticism. He's Mr. 5 Champions League, but he's now he's older. And if Joe Linton, Tonali, you'll see maybe Isak even dropping into these positions. Murphy, is Casemiro going to have the legs to to be kind of watching for the runs and the gaps that could be created? I don't think so. Ugarte, he's obviously the younger version and obviously has a bit of bite about him. But again, he has to manage this side. He has to. He's on their right side.
They got to play like a Collier or something,
right?
Exactly.
But
and that's something else with Amorim. It's like with Ten Hag, he used him a little bit, and Collier. I'm not saying he's an amazing player, but he's young, serviceable. Like he's a decent young player. He's got an engine. That's for sure. And he's technically secure on the ball. And he's also not as old and kind of worn down as Casemiro is. I still think Casemiro is a good player, but I think in the two man, it's like you gotta use the squad and the overall like setup of the club that you have at your disposal.
Let me see this. Manchester. So exactly what you're saying about having the leg. I'm trying to go back to our last game where we played them at Old Trafford. Remember, we totally overran. That game was won before it started. Let me see if I can hear it. 2-0 Joe Linton and Isak, right? These guys, that momentum bar is crazy. So Diallo's injured for them, right? So in that last game,
Mainu's back. He got subbed on late.
Which is interesting. I'm gonna hold that thought on Mainu because I can't figure out why he's not starting.
You see why people and Man United fans, as much as we make fun of them and all that shit, you see why people have questions at the minimum about Amorim. It's like, wait, why is he not playing? To be fair, Mainu's been injured. He's been injured, but again, it's like use what you have at your disposal. If there's problems, you have a really good academy.
Right. So part of me thinks is that if Casemiro and Ugarte are starting over Mainu, it's a defensive thing. It's his ability to recover. Because Mainu in a strange, I don't know how much strange this is. Mainu kind of reminds me of Bruno Gomes. Where say that again?
Footwork. I see it. The footwork.
Do you know what I mean? Press resistant, incredible on the ball.
Sometimes he takes a little too long on the ball, but
he is what he is.
That comes with time.
Yeah. The problem for Man United is that they don't have a Joe Linton and Tonali.
Exactly.
Right. We have a Joe Linton and Tonali. And even sometimes Livramento tucking in. They don't have that. They don't have a Joe Linton and Tonali. And that's why we rode over them. Now in that game, obviously they had Højlund and Xerxes started. Diallo's, I think, is injured or I haven't seen him anyway. Help them if Eriksen starts against us. And this is it's not going to be. He just on the ball great, but the athleticism isn't there. Right. I wanted to show this last game for the positional, because I wanted to figure out how they did it against us this time, and if Amorim is likely to change anything. Get your views on this as well, guys.
I think he'll be more defensive. I think I'm more defensive.
Steve, can you see this? This is the average position. Sheesh. This is from up going down.
We did in that game. Guess what we did? Guess what we did in that freaking game? Just long balls.
Just the direct.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit distorted because the first and second half are so different.
Yeah.
But because look what happened. I think they had to literally plug this middle ground because Eriksen, so Xerxes had to drop back next to Casemiro, next to Eriksen, because we were just overriding them in that midfield. Højlund had to drop, I think it's Højlund. Højlund had to drop back. But what that meant was that we was, like you said, all that happened is Newcastle went direct.
Yes.
And in our middle was Bruno and Sandro and Joe Linton were enough to bring in just on their own. I think it was, is it Trippier? Trippier who tucked in
Yep,
as well,
Trip.
a little bit. But they brought in together literally like half their squad into the circle from number 5, 6, 20, 11, 18, and 4. And what happened? Where did the goals come from? On their left side.
Yeah.
With all of the rest of them. But when you lack that athleticism, right? If you don't have a Jordan,
that Man United. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go on.
It just came to me. That's what they lack so much in Man United. Athleticism. That's why Dorgu stands out in a good way so far. He's not been perfect.
Exactly.
He's been a positive addition just for the athleticism pace that he offers, because it can get you out of trouble and it can cause trouble.
Yeah.
He just needs to work a bit on the technical side of things.
Yeah.
A bit more composure. But that's what I mean. I think team lacks a lot. Athleticism.
I'm anticipating Dorgu to a bit more be reserved in this game against us, so not to be as attacking. But if he's not attacking, who's gonna? I kind of see Man United doing a counter attack against us, to be honest.
Yeah. Problem is the personnel that they're countering with. I mean, Floss is going to come on shortly. He has many complaints about that. The attack don't score goals, and then the ones that do are freaking Xerxes.
Yeah.
Xerxes scored today. And who's the other scorer? Who's the other goal scorer? Euro, a center back?
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me get the comments in. There's lots of comments in. Lots and lots of comments in. And obviously, hopefully, Flawless is going to join us and we'll get his take. And we'll do, obviously, round up on the Cunha news and get a bit of profile on him and get Steve's view on him and where he could play. And the thing is, we've got Cunha, we've got Dean Huijsen. There was talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but for now, we'll put that one on the ice box. I don't want to ruin
Dominic Calvert-Lewin in 2025 is crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, I won't talk about that this month. Sophie B rates Garnacho more than Madueke. Just saying. All right. Sheesh. Aaron K wouldn't go for that, Sophie. Garnacho is lightweight, and I think you've pushed the envelope there, Sophie, for us. Like,
I understand. Look, I understand like the comparison between the two, but one of them is not progressing whatsoever. The more he plays, the worse he looks. They could have got 50 million from Napoli or Chelsea, apparently 55 from Napoli for Garnacho. And since then, he's scored. I don't even think he scored a goal. Like, his numbers are awful. And the decision making, and my
screen paused, so I literally didn't hear anything. What happened there?
I just basically said Garnacho's rubbish and Madueke's he's not been good at Chelsea, Madueke, but there are attributes that I at least like there. But.
Yeah. So if you remember Madueke best moments, just say that video was Steve wasn't feeling that video either. Aaron Kane think that the key for Man United is sorting that spine out. Absolutely. They need to offload a lot of players. It's going to take years, in my opinion, until Amorim gets the team he wants. Plus, Ratcliffe is Mike Ashley in disguise. I think he might be even. I have a feeling that Ratcliffe might be even worse, but we'll see. But definitely agree with you, Aaron. Sophie B, Onana is absolutely terrible. I have to agree. Sheesh. John Boy 77. Good to see you, sir. God bless you. It depends if we can get an early goal Sunday. If we get an early goal, I think the floodgates might open. If we press from the off, the team is hardly brimming with confidence, saying that I'll take a 1-0. Honestly, I'll take a 1-0 last 30 seconds of the game. Honestly,
yeah.
So if we be Inter Milan, absolutely pulled Man United pants down. Nobody anticipated this. This was seen as a big, huge step forward. Like, honestly, but. Something's really, really changed there. Sophie B, I agree. It's personal. I don't disagree. At Man U, is he going to get the time?
The club personality, man.
Oh, personnel. Sorry, personnel. Oh, about the time. Oh, okay, about Amarim. Okay, yeah. The person I don't agree at Man U. Is he going to get the time? The club is in the mud for PSR. They have to buy a full new squad, whilst the rest of the league is. There's a few clubs in the Chelsea in the mud for PSR. Aston Villa. I think we might have played a blinder with our PSR stuff at the moment. The way it's looking. But good call there. So if you beat Amarim has like 18 months left or something on the contract. He has, and there has been no major improvements, and he should be able to get more out of the players as a coach. I think Steve agrees with you for sure. For sure. Aaron Kink agree with Steve. They will need the legs around the Casemiro. Collier gives that for them, but will he dominate them? And I think that's why Manu isn't playing at the moment. Honestly, like they need those legs in the midfield. I can really see them sitting up in a defensive block. But then if they do that, Steve, I think we're just going to overload them on the flanks with Livramento. And on that side would be Joe Linton and Barnes doing the triangles. On the other side would be Trippier and Tonali. It's going to look bad if you're going to allow Bruno Gomes, especially in that pocket, to sit in that pocket. It's going to be bad. Like you can't. But you can only work with the tools that you have, I suppose. Sophie B, first game back today for Mainu. Oh, right. Was he injured? He let him get some minutes. Can't blame him for that. Fair play. I didn't realize he was injured. Sophie B, look at the average positions against Nottingham Forest. The space is crazy. Let me look at that. Let me see. Against Nottingham Forest. Man United against Nottingham Forest. I really, let's see. Where are you? Man United. Nottingham Forest, which was the 2 games before the Lyon game. So they lost that game 1-0. Man United did. I watched that game as well. And it was
Forest. I heard the Forest defended really well, but Man United just offered.
Yeah, they seem to play really narrow. Yeah, absolutely.
You know why they're so? You know why they're so narrow? Look bro. Like they had freaking what's it called? Oh no, I actually started Xerxes in that game. That's right.
No, this is Forest.
Oh yeah. They're so narrow defensive. Yeah, it makes sense because the more if you give.
Sheesh! What on earth is that? Forest. This is Man United. What the on earth is this? Sophie, I can see what you mean. So look, oh my word. So that's Forest, right? From up going down. This is Man United. What on earth is this? So hold on. Joshua Xerxes in midfield. Casemiro. You know what? They're so scared of being porous in their midfield. This is what they've done to themselves. You know what's going to happen, right? How? Because Joe Linton's been playing a lot more centrally. How's going to scare the life out of them? He's going to put Tonali, Joe Linton, his boys in the middle, but it's going to be the flanks. He's going to work the flanks. He's going to scare the living life out of them in the midfield that we're going to overrun them. You're going to see dribbling. You're going to see like a lot of take-ons, I think, in the midfield, or just crunching stuff, tackles. But it's the flanks. It's the flanks that we're going to... If they're going to play like this, I've never seen this in my life, Steve. I've never seen anything so narrow in my life. So who's last? Delit. Is Delit injured now, by the way? He must be injured.
I think so.
Mazraoui, Euro. This is insane. And the gap between their attack, Garnacho was at front. Sheesh, Dorgu. Wow. That's well spotted, Sophie. I didn't see that at all. Yeah. Sophie B, I didn't put Garnacho above. They are the same. They're the same. Garnacho and Madueke. And Wobojob, if you wingers are on point, it's peak for them. If your wingers are on point, it is, honestly. If they do this narrow stuff, I feel like this is what we... Because I remember after the first half, I wish I saw the average positions in the first half, because I can see...
Do you want to look up when we played them? this season? Look up the average position for that. I'd be curious. We beat him 2-0.
Yeah, that's the one we looked at earlier.
That one, we just demoralized them.
Manchester United.
That, you know what? That game is very similar to the Leicester game on Monday. Seriously.
Oh,
I am dead. No, I am dead serious.
I was having trauma. I was having trauma watching the Leicester City game because I was remembering our relegation seasons when I was watching that game. I was having trauma watching Leicester. I'm like, oh man, I know what this feels like. Yeah, man. So this is our average. I wish I could see first and second half, right? So this is Man United in like average position against us because our first and second half was very different. We dominated the first half and then we took our foot off the pedal. So they're looking at a more advanced position. They have flooded the midfield here. You can see it. Hoyland, Casemiro, Joshua Zirkzee, Christian Eriksen, all hugged up like for their lives here. Diego Dallo is having to push up there. Lisandro Martinez, all the players are going to be missing, by the way. They're all hugged up on this point. Like it's insane. And this is us. So we're a lot more spread out. All we've got on that side, I say all we've got, but Trippier's obviously pushed up with Bruno, with Sandro Tonali and Joe Linton and Isak on this side. But Isak's a bit more advanced, obviously. But it scared the life out of Man United. And what's happened? Gordon's left on his own. It's going to be Barnes in this position, but I'm sure Gordon might come up in the second half, maybe. He's going to be fit. And Lewis Hall, in this case, is going to be Livramento. And it just gave us a whole lot of space. So I don't think they've got a choice.
Well, we're gonna dictate the way the game goes.
Yes,
home side, and that's what we do.
It has to be another professional performance. It has to be another professional performance. Okay, I'm going to read a few more comments. And I want to talk about Mateus Cunha. I want to talk about this thing. I want to talk about the results. And because I won't lie, I'm very kind of excited about it, which means I might have my blinkers on. So hopefully we'll get people, and Steve especially, to be a lot more objective about it. Aaron Kane, this might be a game suited more for Gordon than Barnes. You know what? It could be, but I think Barnes, I don't know about you, Steve. I feel like Barnes has earned his place to keep on playing.
Yes.
Eddie Howe,
by the way, Eddie Howe doesn't change teams.
He doesn't. And if you want to pepper the goal, Barnes is your man. Definitely. Because of Gordon's directness. Gordon is. But they both are. I think Gordon is beginning to understand what it means to play for Newcastle.
You mean Barnes?
Barnes. Yeah. He's taken on the ball a lot more. Even if he's not necessarily having the greatest game on the ball, he's working very, very hard off it. He's just trying to, and he's playing angry. I've been saying this for a long time, Steve, that for a few weeks now since he's been playing it, he's been playing angry, meaning that before when things aren't working for him, he looks a lot more dejected. He's kind of despondent in the games, but now he's just like, looking angry, like, come on, let's do it type of thing, which you need. Joe, Bournemouth is the most similar team to your team. Bournemouth and Liverpool, I would say. In my opinion, I would look at them against the Man United, see the average positions for Man United. Let's have a quick look at this, and then I am talking about. Let me see. So Man United, Manchester United versus Bournemouth. When was the last game? So when was this? This is to happen. It hasn't happened yet. What was the previous game? 2024, obviously the first game. 3-0 to Bournemouth. Sheesh. Xerxes Fernandez. So he had Malacia, then he doesn't have Malacia now. Mainly playing that game.
PSV on loan. Malacia. He's on PSV right now.
He is, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Yeah. Maguire, Masraoui, Martinez, who's not fit. Onana played. Diallo played, who's not fit. So let's see the average positions for this. The average positions here. So this is Man United go. So let me see Bournemouth first. I want to see what Bournemouth did. They did their usual kind of. They were. So let me see. Cliver, Evanilson stayed together in that center of the pitch with Crying Christie in between them. But they seem a little bit more spread out, a little bit more expansive. About 4 guys in the back, generally quite 4 or 5 guys in the opposition half. Fair play. And this is Man United. Seemed way more balanced in this Man United compared to what they did against Nottingham Forest. Who was it? Kobe here. Right next to him is Manuel Ugarte protecting him. Diogo Dalot. Maybe it is that Diogo Dalot. Okay. Lissandro Martinez, Harry Maguire. I wonder if things changed a bit because Martinez is playing. But he's not fit. Maybe they're a lot more.
Martinez is out for the year for them, isn't it?
Sheesh. I think not having Martinez and not having Diallo has really shrunk them in terms of what they're doing. So maybe that's what's going on for them.
Diallo's their best attacker. Diallo's their best attacker and probably the best all-around player. If there's one player I'm taking from Man United, it's Diallo. It's Diallo, yeah.
Okay.
And then I would look at Euro, and then I would look at freaking this is the issue. I have to think about Man United players that I would take at Newcastle. Manu I would take as well.
I'll take Manu.
Standout is the standout.
Right. Well, folks, send in your predictions for the game. Steve, let me know what your prediction is, and I'll also let my prediction, and then we'll move on to the transfer talk.
1-0.
I don't blame you.
Because I think they can defend. I think something might happen with Onana. I think Onana, because I think after you got to think about it from a team perspective. If your teammate, who's not, by the way, who has not been a consistent performer, and before this, has a reputation and a resume at Man United making horrific mistakes in Europe in particular, and like you got to do something about that as a manager at some point. This guy was talking smack about Leon, and then Mateus responded, and now we're drawing 2-2. And it's like you're at fault for both. The goalkeeper is at fault for directly both goals.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep playing, and what message does that send to the?
You're going to get the same results, aren't you? Yeah. Guys, we've got another special guest. And I want to be able to first say he's just like Steve. He's one of the first people to get me on their channel. And especially when I first started YouTube, an incredible content creator. Yes. Just as good off the camera as he is on the camera. Incredible human being. And Man United supporter. We have so much jokes when we do get onto working together. And I'm really excited to be able to bring him on. Flawless. How are you doing, sir? I need to get myself those clapping things to hear in the background or whatnot.
I hear you, man. The round of applause. I appreciate the intro, man. I appreciate it. Philip, I appreciate the intro. Appreciate the invite as well, man. And big up for the kind words. Big up to Steve as always. Yeah, man. Good to be here as well. I know it's short notice. That's why I'm not here late or anything. People, Steve just
no. This is last minute, guys.
Last minute.
I know that folks, I was asking a lot of Man United folks to come on, but obviously today was Leon's game, and so I realized, so I'm very blessed to have Flores. We were talking about a couple questions, really, in terms of how are you, by the way? Hope you're well.
Man, I'm all blessed, man. It's been a minute since we spoke, but yeah, man, all good, everything. But I see you working out here as well. Which is great to see.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Me and Steve were trying to, obviously, we're talking about our game now. That's coming up on Sunday, and it's in the back of you guys played Lyon today. We're trying to figure out what can we expect from Man United coming this Sunday, and I guess from a from kind of as many aspects of the game as possible in terms of motivation for the game. Obviously, you've got Europe, not doing so well in the league, but you've got Europe. You're going to be thinking about that. What can we expect maybe from a bit of a tactical point of view? Do you kind of expect Man United to defend? You usually play really well against the bigger teams. I call us now the bigger teams in terms of at least form and how we're playing.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, because I've asked a lot of questions, because I was saying in terms of, I was saying to Steve earlier, and we were talking about it with the chat, that despite some of United's results, I can kind of see the idea of what Amorim's trying to bring to the team, some of the foundations on it, and it might just be a player thing. Steve made the point that, hey, Amorim was selecting some players that he shouldn't be selecting, like he's making things worse for himself. So a lot of questions there for you, Flawless. But take it away. What's your overriding thing on Man United? What you thinking about the game? And yeah, man, just let us know
overall on Manchester United, because there's a lot of questions, a lot of good questions in there. End the Premier League season now. You know what I'm saying? That's been my thoughts for months. End the Premier League season expeditiously. I'm tired of watching us. I can't stand it. I don't like anything about us currently. I don't like too many of the players. The manager who I've backed and rate is just on some foolishness, which makes it worse. Yeah. Like, it's like when a player you rate has a bad game or has a bad run of form. That's much worse than a player you don't rate not playing well. Because you know he's a terrible player. So you hold your hands up and you go, as much as it annoys you, he's in the team, you go, you don't have the capabilities. I've seen this manager do certain things. I hear how he speaks. And I know he fully understands the game and fully understands our issues. But then he'll do the complete opposite. Like I've heard him talk about Garnacho. Garnacho don't play well in central areas. He's better out in space. But then you'll play him as a 10. Make it make sense. Yeah. Like, and things of that. It makes no sense. So like Steve's point, because me and Steve work together on a regular basis, he knows my thoughts on this. I have no problem with the manager's system. I have no problem with his tactics. I've seen him tweak his tactics. Personnel is the issue. Because you continue to persist with personnel that are not good enough. Højlund went 20 plus games without a goal. How much more evidence do you need to see to stop playing him? Garnacho went 20 plus games without a goal. He scored 1 goal in the Premier League in your regime. Stop playing him. And I'm not hearing about, there's nobody else. Because if these 2 players were to get injured, would we go out there with 9 men or would 2 players replace them? This is why you are paid to manage. Because injuries are going to happen. Suspensions are going to happen. Loss of form is going to happen. You are supposed to find a way. Us 3 could do that. You give us 11 world-class players and they don't get injured. We could manage that. It's easy. Yeah. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. Where you really earn the money that you are making is when players are injured, is when there is loss of form. Like, that's what the better managers do. And he's just doing just sticking with this. Today, that lineup was horrible. Front 3 of Højlund, Garnacho, Bruno was never doing anything. Yeah. You played it against City, it did nothing. You played it against Forest, they did nothing. And you don't have to see, I don't have to see it 3 times to know it's not going to do anything because of their ability or lack of. And they're not even good foils for each other. That's what annoys me even more. They're not even good in tandem where you say, all right, Garnacho makes Højlund better.
Like, Murphy isn't the best. Murphy isn't one of the better right wingers in the league, but him and Isak have good.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a foil for him. At least Jacob, at least Murphy without even though he's not of the best right winger, at least he has some form of uses. You watch him play. I've watched you lot play. I like you lot's team a lot. But and Steve knows this. Players I like a lot, like the manager. Some of my favorite players play for Newcastle. I think Isak is incredible as a striker. Been saying this for the longest. But you can see what he offers. It's like, okay, you might not be the best right winger, but you offer something. So that's in regards to Amorim. And then today, I seen the lineup and was like, we're not doing anything of note with that front 3. I know Onana was odds on to make a mistake. And he made 2. I knew it. As soon as he said what he said to Mateus initially, before Mateus responded, it's like, why are you talking? Who gave you a mic? Lack of self-awareness.
Did you see him waving towards the crowd before he took the goal kick?
Are you amping up the crowd? Why are you putting the spotlight on yourself? Why? Yeah. You've actually been in some form of decent form as of late before tonight. You haven't made no mistakes. It was a long time since you've made a mistake, and a long time for him is not a long time for other goalkeepers because he's a horrendous goalkeeper. Let's clear that up. He's terrible. As soon as he said what he said, I said he's making a mistake. Then when Mateus responded, And then he said what he said back to Mateus. I was like, he's making the mistakes. Odds on. You just know it.
Yeah.
Just know it. It was just like, it's just written.
I think Onana's last mistake, by the way, was in the Fulham FA Cup game.
Probably Ipswich. I think Ipswich was after. Probably the Ipswich game. We was looking at this earlier on, so it's probably the Ipswich game, which was the back end of January, was it? February, yeah, back end of February, which a month without making mistakes is a long time for him. Not for a normal regular goalkeeper, but for Onana, it's a long time because he was making mistake after. And it's like, why are you highlighting it? Why are you giving them more ammunition? You just mentioned us playing you lot on the weekend.
Yeah.
You lot are going to be up for it. The place is going to be rocking. It's going to be packed out.
It's Man United.
You lot are in good form. It's Man United. That's it. It's Man United. Despite as bad as we are, and we've been horrendous for years, we are still a big scalp for people. If we turn up to your stadium, it's going to be sold out. Like, what are we doing here? Shout out to my nephew. He told me this because he's a Villa fan, and he was in my chat earlier on today, and he said, because we played them in the under-18s, he said we took 1,000 fans to the FA Cup youth game. I think it was the under-18s or under-21s or something. 1K. There's non-league sides that don't get that. So wherever we go, the place is going to be packed out. And it's like, why are you giving Leon more ammunition? Why? Why are you giving the crowd, which is already going to be raucous anyway, even though I expected more ammunition? Talking about winning mentality, mate, we are 13th. We have not won back-to-back Premier League games all season long. Please, some self-awareness. But your lack of self-awareness off the pitch shows your lack of self-awearness on the pitch. It just sums up Manchester United in a whole.
I was saying to Steve, I hope someone says something crazy for Man United for our game. But Steve will say we're not going to need that. It's just going to be.
You don't, bro. You ain't going to need that. You talk about what are we going to do with you lot? Try and survive. That's it. Everything you do really well, we struggle against.
Athleticism.
Right. Newcastle's best things, like all the things you say, all right, this is what Newcastle do at their very best, we struggle against. So the pace and power and athleticism, we struggle heavily against that. You lot are a very gritty team. Fight. We got no fight. I've seen us give up. We gave up against you lot. When you lot played us in the return leg,
it was what Leicester did on Monday.
Yeah, like we legit, but because it was only 2-0, people didn't talk about it. Because you spoke afterwards. I was fuming after that game.
Yeah, you were.
I was fuming during that game. Because I'm like, Newcastle are better than us. That I can accept. No issues with that. Because that's just a skill thing. But these men battered you into submission to the point you didn't want to play no more. When you got scored that first goal in OT, it was a wrap. We were never coming back.
Yeah. I almost feel like... Go on. So go on. No, go on first. Go on.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, and that's embarrassing. Because there'll be teams you lot face who are nowhere near our caliber in regards to a non-league outfit or a non-Premier League outfit. And they'll give you a game. FA Cup or League Cup, but we didn't even attempt to try and give you
City in the FA Cup. That was
crazy. That was crazy.
Birmingham City gave you more a game than Manchester United. That should never be a sentence that happens despite the result.
Southampton first game of the year. We won just barely.
But they gave you a game. So like with us, you lot, it's literally about survival. It's literally about survival.
We've got a few comments here. People, it's also for yourself, Flawless, as well.
Oh, cool.
And at the end of it, I'll also ask you, maybe what do you think? What is maybe the what should Newcastle look out for? I know there's a lot of bad things, but there is what should Newcastle look out for Man United, and we'll get a score prediction as well. John Boy here. 4-0 to the. We've been doing score predictions. 4-0 to the Toon. I don't think their squad can handle us. I've got tickets for the next 3 games. We're really at the business end of the season. An already brilliant season could become the best in my life. And you know what? That's the motivation there. Like, honestly, for me, it already is. But it could be even better. Obviously, we've won out. I've seen Newcastle lift the trophy for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And finishing in Champions League spot in the same season would just be absolutely incredible for us as well.
Sprinkles.
And I think exactly, and I can feel it in our team. You talked about grit, flawless, and stuff like that. Like, we've been winning ugly. We've been mauling teams, but we've been winning ugly as well. We're like, I think the focus really just seems like win. Like, it just seems like it's just good to see. Like, there isn't like a nervous energy or like, you know, people were thinking we might taper off because we won the League Cup. That's it. And we're like, nah. You can just tell that.
There's hunger. Hunger. Yeah. Hunger. Yeah,
we really want to be in the Champions League. Wobojog is an Arsenal fan. It's Bruno all day long. I would kill for Bruno at Arsenal for his creativity.
Is he talking about Bruno Guimaraes or is he talking about?
Yeah, no. Oh, that's a great question, though. Wobojog, qualify that for us. Yeah. Let us know. Some Aaron Kane rates Miley higher than Mainu.
I like Miley. I'm a fan. I do like Miley.
Why is Mainu not playing flawless?
He's only just come back. He's literally just come back.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I was wondering if it's the athleticism situation or is there an athleticism situation, right? Or we're over milking? Oh, there is. Okay.
Yeah, like just not with him. I'm just saying within our team. Like in a league, in a league that is so athleticism based and physicality, our team lacks it.
I was saying to Steve, I don't know if you thought of this. Yeah. So because Mainu kind of reminds me of Bruno Guimaraes, on the ball, resistant, press resistant, incredible. But the difference is Bruno has Tonali and Joe Linton. Yeah. Whereas Mr. Mainu doesn't have that. If Mainu was in our midfield next to Bruno and Joe Linton, I think you've seen a whole different
and vice versa. Miley would struggle.
Yeah,
yes,
everyone struggles.
Everyone.
Look at who you got. Garnacho, Højlund, and Bruno with you. It's a recipe for disaster. It's death row, man.
And you have
that's your cellmates, man. You gonna die. Like this death row cellmates, man. The writing is on the wall, and that's another thing that annoys me about this manager because he said, what was the quote? He spoke about Mado and he said he's very good in and around the opposition box. He struggles in build up. And he struggles with the pace of the game around him.
Mainly struggles in build up.
So this is what the manager said. So I'm just like basing off what the manager said. I don't think he struggles, but it's not his strong point. Because bear in mind, a lot of people don't know this. Mano in the youth academy was never a 6 or an 8. He played as a striker and at a 10. Yeah, that's what he played as in the youth academy. The first time he played in midfield was playing for us, which again is backwards. First time he played actually as 6 and 8 was playing professional for us in the Premier League as in the Manchester United first team. He's a 10 and he's an 8. I mean, he's a 10 and he played as a striker in the youth system as well. And all of his attributes scream that. I watched him when he's a final third player. And that's why this manager annoys me.
Footwork in the box tells you as much.
Yeah, he's very good. Like you see the goal he scored against Wolves. That's a final third player. Yeah, so the manager says he's good in the opposition box and in and around the opposition box. He struggles with the pace of the game. He struggles in build-up. But then you play him in the 6 and in the 8. Make it make sense.
Right.
Yeah, I don't feel like you play Collier enough. That's another one.
We don't. I play Collier. I'm a fan. I do like Collier still.
Yeah.
I do like
I'm not saying he's a great player, but like he adds
profile.
Profile.
It's about profile. Yeah, he adds a little bit of athleticism, some tenacity, ball retention as well, and he can progress the ball. And when he's played well. Obviously, unfortunately, he's been injured, but he's not played enough for my life.
This is why it's so good to have like opposition fans on to provide this type of context around players as well. Sophie B 2-0 to the Toon. Mighty Mags is a lot more closer, 3-2 to the Toon. I think we still got that PTSD from Man United to us. Aaron Kane.
Having said that, though, I didn't think they'd score 2 goals versus Leon today. I said 2-1. I was slightly off.
Because actually, you know what? Because that's how bad they were. The fact they conceded 2 goals to us is how bad they were.
It says more about
You should be.
I told you in the air. That's it. Probably on defensively in the air.
It's us. I'm saying, like, I'd fancy my chances of keeping a clean sheet against that trio. I could put together a team and go, yeah. Like they say in basketball, certain players guard themselves. That's why our attacks. Players guard themselves. You don't have to worry about Garnacho. He was hard, Lord. Just go look at their numbers. Just go look.
Yeesh. Aaron Kane has got us 3-0. Isak is going to have a field day against that backline.
Could.
I can see that. Sophie B, big up Flawless. Big up Flawless.
Big up Sophie.
Wobojog, how come Miley hasn't featured much this season? I thought he's such a talent when I watched him play. I think mainly because when you've got a midfield trio of Bruno, Joe Linton and Tonali, it's going to be difficult for any midfielder to get into that at the moment, which is a good position to be in.
When we play Europe next year, he'll definitely play more.
Yes, 100%. He overplayed last season. It's only because of the injuries that we had that he played, but we can see that the talent is there as well. I think Sophie B was saying the same thing about that. Played in the League Cup. Couple games and a few appearances. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. Who's this? Robert Jog, Bruno Fernandez. I don't get the hate he gets. You've asked the wrong person here, Robert Jog. You're gonna.
All I won't say is Bobo. Take him. He's all yours, man. Take him, please. Take him, please. He's all yours, man. Have him.
I do not get the hate he gets. It boggles me. He complains a lot, but football ability guy is a creative. He is a creative machine. He did get the assist today. I thought it was a really good assist.
It was a good assist. And let me ask you, Philip, outside of that assist, what else did he do? Exactly. There you go. You hear his laugh? That's what it is. But too many people don't watch the game, see an assist and think, oh,
but again, I think if Fernandez plays and he's got Jolinton and Tonali next to him, it looks a lot more different. I think it's the overall structure of everything that's going on. I think it's a very disjointed team, like very disjointed the club.
But I go one further. If he was at your club, he's on the bench.
Yeah,
don't start for you lot.
I'm not playing him right wing. I'm not playing him right
wing. Who?
I'm not playing. Exactly. I'm not playing. Yeah.
Ahead of who? This is where he's this creative machine. Who does he start for in the league?
Not over Jacob Murphy. That's crazy to say.
Nah, don't put him wing because we ain't gonna do that. We're just gonna talk central. So we'll talk 8s and 10s. Or if people want to say 6, who does he start for?
If the only way he would start, and actually brings me on to Mateus Cunha, we're going to talk about in a moment. He may be in a supporting striker role behind Isak, similar to what David Silva did for Isak at Real Sociedad, but would have to play in a 4-2-3-1.
But we don't really do that.
We don't really do that if we were to do that. But we've got a couple. Aaron Kane, Bruno Fernandez is one of them players. If he plays for your team, you love him, not for flawless. His numbers would be so much better if he had good attackers ahead of him.
Yeah, this is the usual. I'm used to that. He's had better attackers here.
Yes,
he's had better attackers here.
No.
Guys, better attackers.
You've asked the wrong guy here.
He's had better attackers. Bear in mind, this man has 5 open play goals this season in the Premier League, but that's a whole different conversation.
It's a different conversation. Sophie B, Bruno Fernandez always complains when his teammates miss his pass, but the pass is like 5 yards away.
Yeah. See, Sophie, I don't know you, but I like you. Spot on, 110%. Somebody who gets it from the opposition. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Someone who understands it. This guy misplacing passes constantly because the thing is, his goals and assists ain't my issue with him. His overall play is my problem. It's not a numbers thing. People always instantly go to that. Or he gets goals and assists. Whoa. That's not my problem. How about you just keep the ball? Yeah. How about you not playing in the pivot and you have a 65%?
Okay. So this is, and I was supposed to fuck Mateus Cunha. I hope folks can stick around for it at some point.
Oh, it's like Cunha.
Because two couple things there. People mentioned it here, keeping the ball and everything else like that. Because a lot of fans are complaining about today's football and side-to-side football and stuff like that, which I don't complain about, but fine. Right. Bruno Fernandez, and they're talking about Mavericks. In a sense, Bruno Fernandez is a maverick where he takes chances, he takes risks, you don't know what's going to happen from one next to the next. He doesn't do the side-to-side thing. He wants to make things happen. So asking him to make the simple pass and stuff like that isn't that then fulfilling the thing that a lot of fans are wanting not to happen, i.e. the side-to-side football? Is he not a throwback to people like to go the Barclays days, 2010s, 2004 to 2011-ish, all those type of eras there?
Yeah, here's what I'd say to that in regards to it. I'm all about calculated risks.
Yeah,
because every single attacker in the world loses the ball more than they keep it. So whether that's the 9, a winger, a 10, and attacking 8. So that's not my issue. It's when he does the foolishness. That's where my issue lies. Because this guy makes certain decisions and I go, what were you thinking? Like, if a player is in a position to cross the ball and it's a poor cross, you're mad at the poor cross, but you're like, the decision was correct. It was just poor execution. However, if the cross isn't on and they try and cross the ball, that's where my issue lies. I've seen this guy consistently do foolishness. But because he gets goals and assists, it masks it. The Everton game we just played, I can pick out examples easy. The Everton game, for example, people will talk about the free kick that he scored. You know who lost the ball twice for both their goals, giving it away cheaply? Bruno Fernandez. But they won't talk about that. Remember, right at the end, for those, if you cast your mind back
70th
slightly,
minute or something?
not even that, the Ashley Young penalty that should have been given, but it got overturned. You know who gave the ball away stupidly by kicking it into our own box because he was facing his own goal and panicked? Bruno Fernandez. But guess what? They won't talk about that. And if it was given, you know who they would have spoken about? They would have blamed Onana for parrying the ball out, which it was a mistake. They would have blamed, I believe it was Maguire and DeLitt. They would have blamed those three.
No.
He was facing his own goal, people. And rather than get composure, take a touch, play the ball, he just kicked it. It probably isn't on the highlights, but I remember watching it live. And he just kicked it and he lamped it into our own box. Then obviously Everton got the ball, the shot happened, broke to Young, and then we almost lost the game. But because he scored the goal, he saved us. But he cost us 2 goals and almost cost us 3. But they won't talk about that. But I'll talk about those things. But
that's fair.
Please have me.
That's fair. Well, got a couple more comments here. That's fair. That's fair. I see where you're coming from. And to be and Florida's been very consistent with this. Wilbur, who is an Arsenal fan, and he actually says it exactly. Put him in an Arsenal or Newcastle team. He looks very, very different.
He don't start for Newcastle though.
Yeah.
He don't start for Newcastle.
Philip, we're going to talk about Cunha here in a minute. Who are you buying? Cunha or Bruno Fernandez?
He's in the midfield. There's Tonali, there's Bruno Guimaraes, and there's Joe Linton. He's not starting ahead of any of these. Like, let's be honest.
So there's no. If God forbid Bruno G was not fit, and Bruno Fernandez starts, right? All these kind of flaws that you see in him, maybe they get a little bit more. How do I say it? Covered up, maybe a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does he improve as a player, knowing, hey, I got these guys next to me, right? Like I'm good.
He's always been this way. He's always been this way. Okay. Like this is he just has, and even his numbers haven't been that well. 22, 23, 8 goals, 8 assists.
That's not bad.
So it's
Murphy has.
It's all right.
It's not bad
right now.
So and this season he has 8 goals, 9 assists. This is in the Premier League. And this is where this is up. So I thought he gets. So if he has better attack, how come he's got worse attackers, but he's got better numbers than 2 seasons ago?
Okay. Let me
see how these things go. See how he like. So that's the numbers, people. He has, because they want to play. He has worse attackers, but he has better numbers because it's not just a numbers thing. I have no issue. Let me just clarify this. I have 0 issue with his numbers. His overall play is my problem.
Is the
goals and assists? Yeah, it's my overall play. You are a detriment to the team. And if I start pulling up threads about who he got his assists against, that's a whole conversation you don't want to get into. Shout out United Archive on Twitter. There's a whole discuss outside of today. Well, you can add today. I think it's 17 now. There's 16 assists. When you start looking at who he got these assists against, it looks very spooky. It was very spooky.
Wobo Jog.
He had a big Wobo Jog, man.
He had good numbers when he had better attack. Okay, fine. Okay, we've done that one. It's the Sophie B. It's the GA performance argument. He gets GA because everything goes through him, but the rest isn't great, which is what Flawless is saying. And finally, Wobojog, I swear, without Bruno, you'd be looking at actual relegation fight. Okay, focusing on only his mistakes is selection bias. So before you answer, I'm gonna give you your minute there to answer, Flawless, because that's a really interesting point there. And we are gonna go to Cunha, folks. I think we're gonna go overtime tonight. If you can, do stay for us, because I really want to talk about Mateus Cunha. He's a real favorite. As if Flawless and Steve would stay with me, it'd be amazing. It'd be great. But yeah, so. Flawless, what do you think about this? Which is what Warburger puts a compelling argument. I swear, without Bruno, you'd be looking at actual relegation fight, focusing only on mistakes is selection bias.
But I didn't focus only on his mistakes, and this is where selective hearing comes in. Did I not say I have no issue with his numbers? Yeah, it's one of the first things I said. I have 0 issue with his numbers. And this is what people always do, because I've had this debate so many. As soon as you start talking about him as an individual, they move and start talking about the team. Is the team dreadful? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Take Maino's goals. Wait, not Maino. Take Ahmad's goals out of it. We'd be looking at a relegation fight. Take out Mazarari's performances, who I think has been our best player this season so far, comfortably. Take him out of it. We'd be in a relegation fight. Take De Ligt away. I think we'd be in a relegation fight. Euro, to a lesser extent, take him away. We'd be in a relegation fight. Agate, even though his form has fallen off a little bit, take away his performances as well. Casemiro, as he's coming back into the side as well. I think Ahmad's got more goals than him. If we want to do the numbers thing. I think Ahmad legit has more open play goals.
He's been injured for a while.
And he's been injured for like 3 months. Like, what are we doing here? So it's not only focusing on the negative, we're just talking about him. But when you are 13th, what is positive? This is what I'm saying. People are always we're 13th. And people want to stand on a hill and defend him. And to further the point as well, where are we without him? Where are we with him? Because he's broke every record known to man. Where are we with him? We've had our two worst Premier League finishes with him, about to be third. So we had our worst ever league finish when we finished 7th. We had our worst ever league finish last season when we finished 8th, and we're gonna finish. So 3 times, people. Three times he's broke that record. We had our worst ever Champions League campaign without him. Talking of goals and assists, why have they dwindled with him even when we had better attackers? Bear in mind, our attack stank before him. It wasn't good. But it's been equally as bad without him. But if it was better with him, you know what everyone would say? Look how the numbers have gone up. Look how better the numbers are. Just to clarify, people, we've not scored over 70 Premier League goals. We've scored over 70 Premier League goals once in the past 10 years. Just to clarify.
We did that last year, by the way, filled up with all our injuries.
Yeah, like 70, over like 70 goals once.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, it's not solely on him, but if he's this great attacker, guess what? Lead us. You're the leader. Lead us to something. Lead us to something. What are we doing out here?
Well, you got it there. What would you do the follow up? I feel like I'm gonna get to Mateus at some point. But what would you ask? Who's your creative outlet if it's not him? And numbers isn't GA, but actual chance creation. It's got another one here. Oh gosh, we're gonna go here. GA numbers is surface level analysis, and lazy chance creation metrics actually tell you how good he is.
No. GNA numbers, surface levels analysis is lazy when it don't suit your argument. Because if he had 15 goals and 20 assists, it'd be a part of your argument. But since he's low, now it's negative. And I tell you about chance creation. Chance creation just means I pass the ball, someone has a shot. He takes all of our free kicks and all of our corners. So let's say, for example, please pull up the calculator, Steve, because my maths is terrible. So let's say, he plays all our games. He plays all of our matches and takes every single free kick and every single corner. So I think, is it fair to say Manchester United on average, could we say get 6? No, actually, say we get 5 corners and 5 free kicks a game. Or is that too far? What would you not say on average? Can we say 10?
Okay.
So we can say he's getting 10 free kicks and 10 set pieces to take every single game.
Corners and penalties are included in that, right?
So it ain't even penalties. We'll just go off the assist because the chance creation because that's classed it. If I cross the ball in and it's a terrible corner, but someone heads it wide, that's classed as a chance created.
Yeah,
that's how it works. So we're doing it. So 38 times, and I said 10. So 5 free kicks, 5 corners. What's 38 times by 10?
380.
Okay, so he's getting 380 attempts to quote unquote chance create. So law of averages, what's half of 380?
180.
190.
190.
100. So 190. So let's say it's just law of averages. He's going to create at least 190 chances because you're getting a 50-50 chance at winning the header. Don't mean it's good. How many corners do we score from? How many free kicks do we score from? Chance creation is a myth and a metric that's only being used to build up players who are just but hey, we move.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
I hope we do sell him. Do bits. He's never done bits in his entire career. That's the craziest part.
Yeah.
Man's 31 and we're still waiting on him to do bits. We're still waiting on him to do bits. Man's 30 years old and done bits where? He's been in Portugal, did nothing of note. Was in Italy at Sampdoria, did nothing of note. But yeah, that's how you define chance creation metrics. Like I said, if you take all set pieces, you're going to create chances of low about what chance creation. What that doesn't tell you is the quality of the chances.
Yes.
What's the quality of the chances?
Mm.
Give you no clue whatsoever. Only the eye test tell you that. So, for instance, the chance creations at Manchester United, who are all the attackers that are missing all these chances then? If his chance creation is so good, who's all the attackers missing all these chances? It's not like Darwin Núñez at Liverpool who's missing chances left, right, and centre, and we can point to it. Højlund don't miss chances like that. Garnacho don't miss chances like that. That's just this season, even though they're both. Neither does Xerxes. So who's these chances falling to? Or is it just the centre backs and DMs fighting for set pieces? Someone tell me, please let me know. But big up Wobo Jug, man. Big up to you, my guy.
Good discussion. Very good discussion. So, from talking from about one chance creator to another, Mateus Cunha. So Newcastle have had a number of very interesting transfer links today. Let me get this on. Flawless, you may not be aware, but essentially there's been a lot of talk about our summer transfer business coming up, and a lot of our top tier journalists have been saying that Newcastle are looking to bring in 4 players, that being a forward, a right winger, a right centre back, and a goalkeeper. Now it seems like a goalkeeper is pretty much nailed on. It's James Trafford from Burnley. That's looking like he's going to come. But today we've had lots of news. Obviously, I don't know if you saw the Dean Huijsen news come from
50 million release clause, right?
50, exactly, sir. 50 million release clause. There's Liverpool after him, Chelsea after him, us. I'm sure there's going to be some clubs across the Europe that are going to be after him as well. It kind of feels to me like a Michael Elise situation last summer, with Chelsea, with all those guys coming in there, including ourselves actually. So it'll be interesting to see how that situation comes. But today, a player that I really like has come on the news through one of our local journalists, Craig Hope. Essentially, and you guys can see. Let me get it on the screen. Is it? Oh no, it's not on the screen. Good. I'm thinking you guys can see it. You can't. So, these advertisements always on the way. So, essentially, Mateus Cunha. Why Newcastle will make a 62.5 million Mateus Cunha top transfer target. I think that's his release clause. But with one,
that's his release clause. Yeah, they're saying that's his release clause. Yeah.
That's his release, exactly. So, and he signed it, so he didn't have to, but he did. But with one caveat: Alexander Isak's futures twist and there's other stuff about Anthony Gordon and everything else. So they talked about just for kind of context. They talked about how it's looking more like Isak is going to stay at Newcastle, but that has a little bit of an effect on Liam Delap, where it seems like he's less likely to come because he wants to be first teamer and he's not going to play with Isak being there. And it looks like he's more likely to take up the opportunity at Man United than he is at Newcastle, due to the fact that I think you guys are offering him, you get to start first, like straight away type of thing. Mm-hmm. First of all, let me just ask you quickly, Flawless, like, what's your views on Liam Delap, and do you see him working out at Man United if he was to come to you guys?
Here's my only issue. Do I think he's a good player? Yes. I'm always skeptical though of players when it comes to just a one season in the Premier League. That's all it is. Because he's just unproven. Do I think he's played well when I've watched him? Yes. Seems to have good attributes. Yes. I hear the release clause is 30 million if they do get relegated, which is also good. But I'm looking for someone more senior, 100%, and more established, and preference as well. We need some pace and power in this team. That's why I'm looking at it and go get Osherman. I'm looking for someone with some electric pace to spin him behind. Not that Delap can't hold the ball up and he's not strong, but I'm just looking for a bit more dynamism. That's what it is. And like I said, someone who has a little bit more of a track record than Liam Delap. Because it's like, it's the one season and it's like,
where do you think Delap should go, Flawless, if you're his agent and you're just looking for the best football club for him to develop? Where are you recommending?
Probably Chelsea,
Really?
Probably Chelsea. If you're as good as you think you are, you can take Jackson's spot. There's a reason they're looking at a striker.
Yeah.
True.
When you look at it with Cole Palmer, you're going to be in a team where you're going to, like, the aim is going to be currently to dominate the ball. One of the better sides in the league. They're going to be in some form of Europe, whether that's Champions League or Europa League. You'd expect them to win the Conference League, so they're going to be in Europa League bare minimum. And it's a space where you can, whereas others not really else. So obviously Newcastle, depending on the Isak situation, if he's sold, you might go there. But for me, probably say Chelsea. Probably say Chelsea. Or maybe Liverpool, because they're looking to strike up.
Yeah.
Liverpool probably better, actually. Probably say Liverpool with Salah there. Why would you not go and play next to someone like Salah?
Yeah.
One of the
Interesting. So Mateus Cunha, it says here, Newcastle are ready to make Mateus Cunha one of their top targets this summer. Confidential can reveal. Multiple sources have confirmed the club's interest in the Wolves star, and he has admirers within the coaching setup. I always think with these with this particular leaks, like this kind of information, is that I feel like Newcastle are making the player's agent and the player know publicly, yes, we are after you. Because obviously when these things aren't public, any club or even a player can say, yeah, I'll go. But it's, they can change their minds and stuff like that. But when it's public, when they make their intentions public, especially through kind of a tier 1 journalist and stuff like that, I think they're kind of cementing that, but also kind of setting themselves amongst the pigeons and being the cat amongst the pigeons and letting the other clubs know, hey, like who else is stepping up essentially. So I think maybe that's why it's come up. So Cunha's versus, so this is then it kind of explains why they're looking for him, because a lot of people were saying, well, where does Cunha fit into the Newcastle setup? So Cunha's versatility is one of the attractions, and staff believe he can play as a winger or a number 9 or as a number 8, which is really helpful for us in their 3-man midfield. He guarantees goals. He has 15 in all competitions this season, and it is felt that he has the personality and skill set. Personality.
He fits in with your madman personality.
some gangster.
Yeah. You got to be beating people. You got to be jumping people, man. You know what I'm saying? You got
the favelas, baby.
Yeah, facts. I'm like, damn. You got to be rushing people. Yo, Joe Linton just be punching people up in the midfield, yo. It's crazy.
You know what's so interesting is that people were making all these assumptions that Eddie Howe can't deal with big characters when all he does is recruit big characters. It's insane. But anyway. He guarantees he has 15 goals in all competitions, and it is thought he has the personality and skill set to thrive at St. James's Park. I agree with that. Though there is a recognition he would need to work on his defensive contribution. So there is a strong competition for Cunha's signature, and a release clause of 62.5 million will spark one of the summer's biggest transfer tussles. And Newcastle will almost certainly need to make Champions League to be in the running, both from a financial and appeal perspective. But the prospect of working under Eddie Howe and joining fellow Brazilians Bruno Fernandez and Joe Linton works in their favour. Every top Premier League club has been credited with an interest in Cunha in recent months, and the 25-year-old will present an ambitious target for Magpies. Staff have grown tired of players being linked with moves away. Interesting. And the interest in Cunha is a signal that their intent for next season. It's probably another reason why they've leaked this information. That is why insiders say, because recently again, Tonali's been linked now. It's a constant thing, but it's fine. Everybody gets it.
Get used to it, man. We're gonna be a good team from now on.
Exactly.
When you're a good team, you have good players, and people want them.
Exactly.
So it's a good.
I remember when our players weren't linked to anybody of significance.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my team now. Hey, bro, there we are. Hey, all these world-class ballers and top-quality ballers, but nobody wants them,
Hey, no. Flawless, remember Bruno Fernandez, 90 million to Real Madrid.
To Real Madrid, I remember
Real
that
Madrid,
90 million.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, man, 100%.
18 million.
100%.
Do you know what? If that transfer happens, Flawless, I'm going to bring you back on the show.
You know what? I'll be like, hey, Madrid, hey, look, I was wrong, you lot. Everyone leaves Bruno, you lot can go now watch him in Spain. Go watch him in La Liga. That's what I say. Don't bother me. I was wrong. Hey, Madrid wanted him. You know what I'm saying, Madrid? People actually tried to believe that. I'm saying, man, are trying to tell me the girl's pretty and her DMs is empty. Shut up. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about, man? Her DMs is empty. Huh? Was she pretty? All right. Don't lie to her, man. Stop. It's not a stop, man. What are we doing?
So that is why insiders say Champions League qualification will be key to enacting their summer plans. Interesting. Mateus Cunha obviously here. So I've let me get. I'm going before I get you guys like full take on Cunha and where things set us up for him. Let me just get a little bit of background on him in terms of, let's go on the transfermarket.com, get some things on his contract. Obviously, we know about his contract, but a little bit of background on him. 1.83 meters. So what's that? Like 6'1", 6'2"?
He's definitely not a small guy.
He's definitely not a small guy. Absolutely. Obviously, Brazil's his birthplace in João Pessoa. He's so far this season in the Premier, he's got 26 appearances, 13 goals, 4 assists, so 17 goal contributions. Pretty good. Now they've got him central forward, attacking midfielder positions, on the left as well. But I think he can play across the front three. They value him at 55 million euros, which is about 48 million pounds. His contract obviously got extended and it expires in 2029, but it's got a release clause, as we know, of 62.5 million. First of all, guys, do you think whether it's Newcastle, well, I guess it depends on the team, do you think the clubs will meet that release clause?
Yes. Yeah. I was having this discussion. He was having a shout out to Rance. Me and him was having this discussion on his channel, and we was talking about the price and Cunha. One, I'm a big fan of, like Steve knows, big fan of Cunha. Number two, what team does he not improve?
Yes.
Where does he go? Let's say take the top 10. Where does he go? Whether he's playing as a 9, left winger, as part of an 8, then that terrifies me as part of your midfield, because that adds not only that bite and you lot just jumping people, but he's also got that creativity and the ball carrying from deeper areas as well. And obviously,
he can score wonder goals as well.
Yeah, and he's a goal for it. So for Newcastle, he improves you lot, without doubt, to me.
Yeah.
The thought of him and Isak together terrifies me.
Sheesh.
Terrifies me. And Gordon, with then the bounces with friggin', you know what I'm saying, Joe Linton and that night. I don't know they trying to see that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't trying to see that. You improves you lot. Like what we talking about, City without doubt improves. Put him in Arsenal side, whether he plays as a 9 or he plays in the left. Chelsea, we just spoke about. Imagine him and Palmer. Imagine the link up between him and Palmer. With us, definitely improves, goals without saying. I think he's tailor-made for our system.
Spurs, he improves.
Spurs, with goals without saying, you improve without question. Who else? What other side?
Jacob Murphy improves Spurs. I mean, like, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Liverpool, he'd improve, obviously.
Imagine him one side and Salah the other.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine him from the left and Salah from the. That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare for the league when you think about that. Like, oh, what are we talking about here? Would you put him in Bournemouth's team and you got Semenyo one side and him the other?
Yeah, crazy. You could definitely see.
He ended up at Brentford. You could do a front two of Mbeumo, Cunha.
Yo, you doing the him with them two. You know what I'm saying? You adding that favela South African spice with them two Africans. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yo, they just gonna run people down. Are you crazy?
Look how good Neto looked at Wolves last year with Cunha. And now look at him without.
Yes.
Look at Strand. Let's say what's it called? Who are the other attackers?
Strand Larson. Yeah.
Like they look better because of. I think Cunha is the perfect complementary player, but he has like superstar characteristics. A sick player.
So definitely, you guys see it for him. So professional career, like you can see it here, pretty much started. I think it's in Switzerland. From Brazil. Sorry. So go on. Cordoba under 20s before going to Switzerland, playing for Sion. Then and this is the interesting part now. From Sion, he goes to RB Leipzig, who have a sporting director by the name of Paul Mitchell And there's the connection.
Leipzig at the time. Yes, he was.
He was alive. So this is in 2018. He's 25 years old now. He would have been 18 years old. And this is what I'm saying about Paul Mitchell. He's had this guy. Paul Mitchell's also discovered so many players. Kanate, Son, just leave him alone.
We got a good
sporting director. Yeah. We had one before, but Man United were insistent on taking him. But thank you for that, by the way. I'm like,
idiotic, man.
It was crazy. That was crazy. Anyway, I was about to get into a whole different topic. Anyway, then from there he went to Hertha Berlin, and I'm going to be talking about. There's a scouting report I wanted to read quickly in regards to how Hertha Berlin used them. So because
so good at Hertha. I remember good,
and that's why I'm so happy that you're here, Steve, because you can even add context to it. Because it seems from what I'm reading in the scouting report, their formation and what they did is very similar to what Newcastle are doing now. So from there he went to Atletico Madrid. Things didn't quite work out. It was the biggest move of his career so far, 30 million euros. Looks like he stayed there for about 2 years before going on to Wolves, where obviously he is there currently, and he's doing absolute bits. As mentioned, 26 appearances, 13 goals, 4 assists. So he's getting a goal contribution every 165 minutes. He's playing for Wolves, right? So I think that possibly even increases should he play for a better team. So pretty good. Let me go into scout report. I mean, he is. So this is him. So this is Hertha Berlin. He would have been. So this is 2021. He would have been 21 years old, 21 years old, 22 years old. Excellent.
Yeah.
They did something interesting. So they've got him as, in terms of his profile. They're like, this is I didn't know this, but he was at the time, he was like a poster boy for Brazil's Olympic gold. So I didn't realize he won that, Steve. I didn't know in Tokyo.
Yeah.
With 5, he scored 5 goals with Richarlison. Was the competition leading goal scorers. Man, life hits you fast, man.
Yeah.
He was being monitored by big clubs, like everybody coming in for him. He admires Ronaldinho. His former manager at Hertha Berlin, Paul Dardai, has even previously described him as a genius. So they've got, in terms of the tactical analysis, they've got Cunha as a versatile right-footed forward who has proven both through the centre and in the starting wide positions, but it is from the centre of the pitch against the imposing central defenders and from where he can dribble and receive between the lines that he's the most effective. So I think if you're playing him and Isak together, you kind of got someone.
His eyes just burst out of his socket, yo.
That is frightening. That's why that is frightening. When I say that, that's from as much as I don't like it from a United fan, that's complimentary, because that is. I already like I said, watching you lot, but those two in tandem, Lord of mercy, because I think they're foils for each other.
And Buemo and Isak, or Cunha and Isak?
Right.
Cunha and Isak. And I rate Buemo highly, but I think, you know me, I think Cunha's one of them. I think he's very, very, I think he's top player.
Yeah.
I think he's that good.
And you can see them interchanging as well, because they kind of make a big thing in terms of about him being able to hold up the ball, which Isak can do. Like I said, a really, really good foil. So what does it say? So that same sense of time also exists in his runs. He makes in the moments before receiving possession, particularly when moving from a wide position, so coming in from the left or coming from the right, but typically from the left, between the lines, and is complemented by the direction of which he takes his first touch, when it's often determined by where he can advance. And I think this is the difference between him and Barnes. And before I was worried when I first received this news that it would be Bruno Gomes that's going. I don't know why, but I felt like I said Bruno.
Yeah.
But I think Barnes, we've been saying for Barnes, I think Barnes is the one that's going to go. Sorry, go on, Steve.
No, I was just saying it could be, but to be honest, if I'm in charge of things, I'm keeping Barnes as backup. Especially see what he's doing towards the end of the season. I expect him to start on Sunday because he's been in good form.
I wish we could. I'm just thinking of PSR because you have to nowadays. Like if we're gonna unlock a 62.5 million release clause, somebody's gonna have to get sold, especially if we're gonna get a right centre back.
I'd rather sell Willock, to be honest.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah. Oh, right. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm a fan
of call.
I like
That's
Jay
a good call. That is a good call. That is a good call. This is the part I was talking about in terms of like, I was talking about it to somebody before. This is why I possibly prefer a Cunha type of player compared to an Mbeumo. And I really, really like Mbeumo. But I feel like with Cunha, the way they dribble and they can cut across, like you can see it here, is they draw so many players towards them.
Yeah.
So and by doing that, he opens up so much space. Like he's got about 3 or 4 guys around him, and his ability, because you know you can shoot from far, or you can drop, or you can drive into the box, or he can lay it off. And you know, with Issa being really smart with his movements, you're going to create so much space. Yeah. And I think this works for our low block. I don't know about you. I don't know what you guys think. You guys already said that you prefer Cunha over Mbeumo, though, isn't it? Like you already said that.
I'm not. I love both the players, but I'm not because I love Mbeumo, man. I think because he can do okay for midfield. Yeah, he can't play midfield, which is something Cunha could possibly do with our duo. But like Mbeumo could also do striker and right wing, and like just the
exactly.
Him on the right wing for you is dangerous. That's somewhere he improved because he gives you everything to me. What Murphy gives you plus more on that side.
Well, this is him on the right.
I've seen Mbeumo do some crazy shit this year. First touches in midair and then beating two guys and then top men's type shit, like consistently.
Well, this is him on the right here. And this is what they're talking about when they're saying so. Because they're talking about him being able to take on the ball and kind of hold off defenders. So particularly between the lines and the ability to roll opponents and turn in both directions. That's the key. Some people can only turn on the left or go on the right. When you got someone that can do both directions, that's what helps you when you're kind of breaking down low blocks. So Cunha almost exclusively favors his right foot for all of his ability. So hence why maybe he favors playing on the left side. For all of his ability to turn in both directions, there are times when pressure forces him to him onto his left foot, and he therefore struggles to progression out. Keep in mind, this is 3-4 years ago. I don't know if he's improved on this. I expect that he has, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
You know, and you see when you're able to take the ball. So this is what they're saying. From here, from more advanced territory, that same upper body strength, he's a strong guy. Means he succeeds in occupying defenders before releasing the ball to those making forward runs. I know Mbeumo can do this. I feel like Cunha can do it better.
In a different style.
In a different style.
Yeah.
In a different style. And again, if you see even in this picture is how many guys are drawn to him because of that. Yeah. And then it frees up these 2 men behind him. If he can get the ball or to the guy that's running into the space blatantly here.
Yeah,
who's that guy? The fullback, exactly. I think there's so before I finish up on this. So his roll up. This is where kind of why Newcastle might want him. His roll out hurt Berlin. Cunha was almost used towards the left of what was most commonly Hertha Berlin's 4-2-3-1. We don't really use 4-2-3-1, but I think that's where how was to open up that particular option, and the 4-4-3. Right. But there were also occasions when he featured as their number 10.
Yes.
As their number 10. Regardless of his, I think football is again evolving. I think next year is going to be even more different. People are going to get the number 10s back. Regardless of his starting position, RB Leipzig often previously used him as a striker. He prioritized attacking through the both center of the pitch and on the left side of the channel. So at the time, he ranked third highest for attempted dribbles. That's phenomenal again in like 90-95 percentile. 1-to-1 attacks in the Bundesliga, largely owing to his ability to receive possession with pressure coming from behind him and then to explosively turn it. Like, how many times have we seen him like been able to collect the ball in this advanced position, no matter who the defender is, still collect the ball and to receive in return? And again, you see all these other guys are able to surround him, because then if you get Gordon around him, if you can get whoever the new right winger is, if it's Jacob Murphy or or Bruno Gomes coming in behind him, Isak, obviously, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know because at the moment it's just Isak and Bruno, but I feel like Cunha's got a different skill set to Bruno. Yes, they're press resistant, but I feel like they're press resistant in a different way, where he's got that explosive pace, and he shakes people up a little bit. Let me see where we can see. There's a lot of stuff they put here. I'm not going to be able to read about. This is the last bit I want to see. Because the people are thinking about how he can play in the 8, and if Herta's movements meant him receiving possession and wide on the left, he sought to cut into midfield onto his right foot instead of playing the ball and then seeking moving across the pitch, often relying on his change of pace as he received, then seeking to play cutbacks through balls. So you know when they cut back, it's like, you know, people keep on talking about, but this is why people talk about maybe side-to-side football and being a bit more robotic. If you got a guy who can cut on his right and do the dribbling, draw people to him, you can see there's about 3-4 players already, like their whole line is already distorted because they know this guy can do. That opens up the pitch. I think that excites the game more often. Like, I think Cunha is an exciting player.
Yeah.
There are also occasions when they built with a back 3.
Yes.
And when Cunha therefore features, this might be why Man United were looking at him from the centre as a number 10, for being in position to receive with greater potential to attack instead of being required to move infield from defensive positions. So provide an increased number of dribbles on the counter. The frequency of him being doing so increased that when they were defending with a mid or low block. So look, there's so many options with him, and you can see here, like, this is how he played in the 4-2. Can you guys see there? Or is it too small?
Yeah.
Zoom in a bit.
See well enough. Yeah.
On the left.
So on the right, or to my right, 4-3-3, Cunha on their left.
Yeah.
Again, you can imagine obviously he played with Guendouzi.
Yeah, Guendouzi was that. Yeah, Arsenal loaned him to Berlin. Yep.
Okay. So with us, it'll be Tonali, Bruno, and Joe Linton, obviously.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. And Cunha on that left. Quick question. Cunha or Gordon on the left? Or do you think what happens to Cunha? Does Gordon go to the right then? What does that mean? But, you know, Gordon doesn't like that. He doesn't mind the right, but what's you guys' thoughts? Like, how do you think?
I think it depends on who you're playing. If you're trying to be a bit more offensive, it's Gordon on the left, and then Cunha plays as like an attacking midfielder. Whether it's Tonali and it's 2 from 3 of Joe Linton, Tonali, or Bruno G. That's what it is. Whereas, however, if you're trying to be a bit more defensive, do you then play Gordon wide right, play Cunha from the left, and then obviously Isak up top with your midfield as it is? It's great. It's a good option to have. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
You've got options. Like I said, if you want to be a bit more defensive, you've got the one you've got the option you have now, but add him into the mix. Because that's sure enough, you can play 2 DMs if you want to be a little bit more offensive. Of course, Joe Linton will get forward. Of course, Bruno G will play his passes through the lines, and so will Tonali as well. So maybe you do play him from the right at times, or you play Gordon from the right at times.
This is it, isn't it? This is why you base it.
Sorry, I was just gonna say.
Go.
This is why I always bring up Mbeumo compared to, because like there's no doubt if we buy Mbeumo right wing, he goes right there. Yeah,
Plays on the right. Yeah, you right.
And with Cunha, it's like, yes, he gets into the team, but like how? It's a good problem to have, yes, but it's still a problem.
You mentioned it, like Mbeumo's probably the better buy for you, lot.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, he's the better buy for you, lot. Because he disrupts less. Even though I think Cunha is the better player, you talk about it and side to side for systems. And Mbeumo plays, like Steve says, without doubt. Cunha gets into the side. How? To the detriment of who?
Yeah.
Unless there is going to be a
is that a bad thing though? Like,
and also you got to think about it from the perspective of teams. When you're building a squad, you plug the holes in the 11 before you think about the backups.
Yes.
I'm not saying Cunha is a backup. I'm saying he's a player that we already have a good left winger.
Yes.
In fact, we have a really good left winger and then a decent one in Barnes.
Right.
We have a good striker, so we're looking for a back. We need a right winger.
He's right, and Bremo's a better fit for you.
Yeah.
He's a better
goes
fit,
straight
even though
into the
Cunha's a better
11.
player. And Bremo's a better fit.
Yeah, I'll take either or, both in a dream scenario. But like,
are you saying a better fit in terms of not? Because you said not to disrupt the squad. I don't mind the squad being disrupted.
I don't either.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not. You don't mind the squad being disrupted because having Cunha is not a bad thing.
Yes,
you know where it causes, again, this is why managers get paid the big money. It's more of a selection headache of, okay, Cunha plays how, against who, where does he go? Because he goes into the side, but then do you lose a little bit unless you're planning on replacing who misses out of Joe Linton, Tonali, and Bruno G.
Sophie in the comments saying she sees Cunha as more of a Joe Ellington replacement.
All right, so Joe, you know what? That he's an improvement on Joe Linton. So you then,
but Joe Ellington, this is
all right. Then that's what you have to think: is Cunha a bigger improvement on Joe Linton than Bremo is on a Jacob Murphy?
No, the gap between Murphy and Mbeumo is this.
Yeah. And, so we're still buying a right winger. He's a forward. So
if you go sign a right winger in addition, if you go get a right winger because your right winger needs to be first team level.
So we're getting a forward, a right winger, a right centre back, and a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So
your right winger needs to be closer to Isak and Gordon in terms of just ability.
Murphy is definitely good enough to be a backup.
Yeah, but you're looking for someone to be somewhere near them, and then Mbeumo fits.
Whoa, look at this. This is for Cunha. This is from FB Ref, and they're given the most similar type of players to Cunha. Number 2 is Harvey Barnes, who's already plays for us. Number 3 is Madueke, Sophie B, Madueke. And then we've got Morgan Rogers, and all the way down at number 9 is Anthony Gordon. I think
I bet you know why I bet Gordon
go on.
Barnes pop up, because off the ball work rate.
Yes.
Like presses per 90 and challenges attempted.
Wake's there. That is crazy. Sorry. That was blowing my mind. He's dreadful.
I think he's more similar to a Greenwood, to be honest.
Yeah, he's oh Lord. He is terrible.
I think Cunha's gonna be our forward / striker and number 10. He's versatile, so he can play in that Joelinton role. I think he'll either be rotating with Isak or playing alongside Isak. We like to play in a 4-4-2 out of possession, so we do that striker.
Or 4-5-1.
Or the 4-5-1.
Think about it, he is an improvement on Joe Linton, so you go get him.
But we need an improvement on Murphy more desperately than improvement on Joe Ellington.
That will come.
That's my argument.
That will come.
Well, you're going to sign the right winger anyway, so I don't think it's either. If it was either or, I hear you, but it's both. Yeah.
So do you think a 4-2-3-1 suits us more on the left, where I know it's got him on the left here, but he's going to be really kind of in behind an Isak or with Isak? Like, so if he plays with Tonali, say for instance, Tonali, Joe Linton, and Cunha in front, in front of them, with Isak in front of him, Gordon on the left, and whoever the new right winger is. That's right.
You know, really trying to do something. That levels you up. You know, that's impressive. If you like, and a right winger of quality.
I think next season, albeit Liverpool probably going to re-sign Van Dijk and Salah, and then we'll see what Man City do. But like, it could be like a Leicester, like next year's Prem title could be completely open.
There we go, man. Steve talking Prem titles to the tune. Love to hear it, man.
Yeah,
you heard it here first, guys.
It's crazy. That is a combo. Yeah.
You have heard it here first. Let me go through the comments and we'll wrap up. But like in conclusion, guys, what's you guys' thoughts on Cunha? Like in terms of Cunha from Newcastle, and if you were Cunha, objectively speaking, a number of clubs are looking for him. If you were Cunha, where would you go? And for I talking to you guys more about it and kind of reading the scouting reports. I didn't get to read. We usually like to see the highlights and stuff like that, but it's way late. I think I asked you guys a question earlier. Would we pay the release clause? I'm talking about him. Yeah, I think we paid the release.
Especially with Palmer.
I think we paid the release clause. Yeah. Just hurry up and come. So yeah, what's your guys' thoughts about him? Where do you think he would go next? And who do you think really? Because we had Nottingham Forest in for him at one point. Man United obviously makes a lot of sense for Man United, but I don't know whether the stats and everything of the club is there. I don't know if there's a lot of talk about people talk about your finances all the time, but
they're gonna have a lot of outgoings.
We're gonna have a lot of outgoings, and two, people. I've been content creating, I think, 4 years now. Every single summer, people have spoke about how Manchester United have been broke. And every single summer we somehow spent money. I say this all the time, we are rich broke. Like in regards to elite clubs, we're broke. But like them being, it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think,
it's like a billionaire versus a millionaire.
Yeah, no, it's like if Bill Gates had $1 million to his name. Guess what? He's broke. Give me $1 million. I'm not broke. He rich broke. Yeah. Like Bill Gates being broke is a different level to one of us being broke. Give 100%. Us $1 million. If I got $1 million in my account or any YouTube, you're rich. If Bill Gates had he's panicking. Bill Gates woke up tomorrow and had $1 million in his account. He's panicking. Yeah, like, yo, what went wrong? I'm broke.
What is going on?
I can't do anything. That type of thing. So yeah, with United, people make a lot about our finances, but I would happily see us go and get Cunha. He's my number one. He's the number one target I want us to go get. He fits us perfectly. Whether it's in that left-sided 10 or as a striker, he's prem proven. I think 62.5 million for what he gives you as a steal. Go and get him. Whether we will or not, I don't know. But I'd love to see Cunha turn up to OT.
And you wouldn't want to see him go to Newcastle.
I ain't try to see him go anywhere. Because the link-ups are scary because he's good foils he's a good foil for others. Yes. If you got any form of attacker or quality, I think he's a good foil for them, and vice versa.
Yes. Him and Isak would be a problem for a lot of people. Yes. I said I wouldn't improve the highlights. I'm going to do a brief highlight just to see what he's doing. They got him as beast of a striker, interestingly. We've got to make sure he doesn't fight anybody at the end of the games, but
he's right at home. You know what I'm saying?
Nice assist.
Nice assist again. Like that.
His through balls are nice and gentle.
That is absolutely crazy. That touch, turn. My word!
Yeah. How much are you watching of him this year, Philip? How many Wolves games? 10?
I've watched about, I don't know about as much as 10. I'll probably say, I watched the Bournemouth game that they played recently. I saw him against Palace. I saw him against
us, obviously.
I'll say about 4, I guess, against us, obviously. I'll say about 4 or 5, not as much as 10. Because I've been watching a lot of Magnus Akliouche at Monaco and stuff like that.
There we go, man. There we go.
That's a great finish.
That's a great finish.
And he saw that. He saw that.
Look at that. Oh my word.
Yo, rewind that. Who did he just say? Yo, that is crazy. What? That is
flawless. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is just my opinion. People keep on saying that quality, this is the league. Bro, they're not watching some of these.
Some sick players in the league. Yeah,
they're just not watching certain things. Look at it. Who is that? A Southampton player.
Yeah, I think it's number 4, yo. Like, he's looking. Don't know where he's number 6. Oh, he's sent man shot, yo. That is crazy.
Oh, sheesh. Did you see that?
That is
first touch. I saw this game. I saw this game against Fulham as well. What's his first touch? Watch this. Yo, did you see that? Did you see that? Isn't that Bergkamp? Isn't that Bergkamp Leicester?
Yeah, that is very Bergkamp Leicester.
Do you know what? Yo,
they smoked Fulham in that game as well.
Strength, power, dribbling.
That's Onana as well. You know that.
That's Onana crying.
That's Onana that he's left there. That's
in between the lines. Boom.
Crazy finish.
And they keep telling me there's no quality in the league. I don't understand it, man. First touch, look up.
Against Liverpool?
Left foot. That was the left.
Yeah, I remember this game.
A month ago.
Left foot. Left foot.
Okay,
absolutely phenomenal.
Left foot. This is against Bournemouth.
This was a banger. This is
that's great. That was the FA Cup.
Yeah, that was a good game. I remember.
A good game. Yeah, me and you did a watch on for this class.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Touch.
Spicy game.
Right foot this time. Right foot, left foot.
Yeah, this is the direct corner against us.
This game was insane.
Yeah. Fucking
this
Onana.
Game was bananas.
Fucking Onana, yo.
I've just reminded you. Look at this. Look at that.
That's incredible. That is an incredible strike.
Because I can. That's like a striker saying, just because I can.
Yeah, man.
Again, first touch, finish.
Good strike. Clean striker of the ball.
Very.
And passer as well.
Yeah.
Passing, like the way to pass.
Do you know what? I've probably seen more than 5 games. I'm thinking I saw this game. I saw that game.
Philip, I swear to God, and Floss will probably agree with this. Whenever I ask people, like, how much have you watched of this team? And it's like, oh, I've actually watched them a lot more than I thought they did.
Yeah, it's because because you'd be like, yo, Flawless, let's do such and such. And I just end up watching.
I remember.
Like that Luton 4-4 game.
Yeah, that game was immense.
That was crazy. Finish. Oh, do you know what? He'll be so good for us, honestly. Like, I can just see it. Look at that. This is in the midfield. Are you mad?
Arsenal.
Through the middle, dribbling. And the things he can either way, strength.
Great touch. What a
great touch.
What a good touch, man.
Oh, look up.
Great vision.
Oh.
I remember this game as well. I watched this game.
Villa. Yeah.
Wow.
Who you taking? Eze or Cunha?
Cunha.
Oh, wow.
Now, Cunha is over Eze. There's something about Eze where I can't explain it. Maybe you guys can find the words for it. I'm looking at Cunha. When I see Cunha doing this stuff, there's always a sense of danger that I know that something's going to happen. I'm not saying that Eze... I feel like Eze sometimes dribbles, not for the sake of dribbling, but I feel...
And he's less direct.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He's less direct.
That's it.
Yeah. Whereas Eze, not Eze, Cunha, his dribbling is purposeful. It's very direct.
Exactly. Everything he's doing is with the purpose of we're gonna go up the field. We're gonna either create. We're gonna do something, and that's why I feel like there's a panic from other players when he gets the ball. Like they have to shut him down. They have to get close to him, and that's what opens up space. But anyway, guys, let me get the comments in. It's been an incredible show. Aaron Kane has good attributes. Think he would thrive at the team like Brighton.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hells Huzzar, good to see you, sir. God bless you. Why are the media fixated with the sale of
he's
Isak?
really good.
Because it's really good, yeah. It's not good. It's like they're trying to bully Isak out of the two still. Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's I think people just really like Isak.
Yeah.
So
it's like having a bad gal that you're with and every man's looking at her. Seriously, that's what it is.
And they're not your friends. Sophie B, I think Joelinton is injured. Yeah.
True though, Floss is a good analogy.
And this is an interesting one from Sophie B. I think Joelinton is injured a lot, and he has been recently, and a lot. So as a replacement for him, yes, and to rotate, he's going to be rotating with Isak, with Joelinton. I know he's not a rotational player. I think primarily the focus is for him and to challenge Gordon. I think he challenges Gordon 100%. Gordon can't just sit around and say, "Oh, I'm definitely playing this time."
Yeah,
you see what Cunha does on the. He's sending man to the shops. So you're gonna have to be on your point. I think it's a very good play. Wobojog. It's easy to say he improves X team or the other. A better question should be: does he feel a need for said team?
Yes, everybody. Yes,
for Newcastle, I think teams have always got to evolve, and I think Howe in his position has got to assume that teams are going to take up low blocks, are going to begin to take up low blocks against Newcastle. It's no longer Newcastle relegation Newcastle. It's Newcastle Champions Leagues and winning cups now. So it's going to be people. So we need a Cunha to do that. And there's a creative side to him as well. And to be competitive. I remember Newcastle bought a first team player in 3 transfer windows. Like this is overdue.
Yeah.
Aaron Kane, going to be difficult to find a like-for-like replacement for Joelinton, but wonder if signing a Cunha leads to a Bruno Tonali double pivot. Oof, with Cunha operating that number 10 position.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Oh, hold on. Aaron Kane, Mbeumo for me is better fitted to our system, in my opinion. A lot of people feel about this, but
not a better system fit.
I think he is a better system fit, in my opinion, but I think you're altering it for the better.
Yeah.
Which you do need to do. You do need to alter your system.
Is he an improvement on Joe Linton?
If Mbeumo comes, you're going to get more of the same, but better from Newcastle.
Yes.
If Joelinton comes, not Joelinton, Cunha comes, you're going to get like an evolution. You're going to get something a lot more different, I think.
Yes.
You don't even know what you're going to get, but it's going to be dangerous. So if you be, I think it's more of a Joe Linton replacement, plays some sort of position rotating them. Interesting. I wouldn't disagree. So if you be, we definitely need a right winger as well as Cunha. If we got him, absolutely. If we get Cunha, I can almost imagine the right winger we get will probably be a raw talent, in my opinion. Cunha is literally Joe Willock and Joe Linton mixed together. It's the perfect. I would say with the skills that we just saw now, he's got a bit of dribbling about him. I don't know who.
Ball carrying is
Ball carrying is crazy. Yeah. Exactly.
And Willock can pick out passes. Yeah, he can finish.
Exactly. Aaron Cave, Gordon on the left, always for me. If he can get Gordon, Cunha, Isak, and whoever on the right together some way,
that's a bad boy front four. You know?
It's trouble for everybody.
Yeah, it's problems.
The left side of problems. Exactly. So if we beat Lewis Hall, and Gordon, jeez. Bobby Fairview, what's the disrespect to Murphy? I will take him at Chelsea. Madueke gets so much heat here. It's unbelievable. Aaron Cave, Gordon always cuts in and operates that half space he does, where he can switch or get a shot off that triangle of Hall, Cunha, and Gordon is scary. Yeah. Hoysen is also getting touted. Matty, man, good to see you, sir. God bless you. Well job. If you're going for Cunha, given his profile and price, RC
release clause, RC.
Or release clause. You guys are good at this stuff. It leads me as one of your. It reads me as one of your wingers is being sold. I think it's Barnes. We've been talking about it for ages, for a while in the show. I think Barnes is up for sale. And Gordon is the one in demand. Be careful. No, it won't be Gordon. It won't be Gordon. We just gave him a new contract. It's going to be Barnes. I can see what you're wishing for there, Wobo Jog.
I think no. But I think Willock's gonna get. I think Willock will be.
I think you're hoping. I think that.
No. Not hoping. That's what I just think. If Willock could stay fit for us, he's an invaluable player. Very valuable.
Yes,
but
I agree with that.
This has been a convo about J. Will for what? 2 years now? 3?
Yes. How old is he now? 24, 25?
Exactly. Time's ticking, man.
Time's ticking. Sophie B, I think it's literally the Joe Linton replacement. J7 is literally 30 and injury prone. He's 28, I think.
Yes,
but
I agree with Sophie B. Now we've discussed it. I think it's for Joe Linton and it's in a good.
So in a number 8, so maybe we do go to a 4-2-3-1. We drop off the third midfielder, have Bruno Tonali in the pivot. Crazy.
So it's options. You could go with the 4-3-3
on the bench. Having J7 on the bench is not a bad thing.
Because then you do have Cunha. That's how you do fit Cunha. You got Cunha. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I see it. I see the vision. I see the. Dave, he's a class act. Dave, good to see you, Dave Eddie, by the way. God bless you. He's a class act. I feel Wolves may be the surprise team of the next season. He may stay. I'll be surprised. I'll be shocked if he stays. Yeah. J7 is 28. Okay, that's Strasbourg. That's you, Strasbourg. And finally, Sophie B. Fair still the injury prone. He is taped up to the heels of the game.
J7. Yeah.
Oh, J7. Okay. Willock to be sold. We need to keep Barnes for squad depth.
I mean, Philip, who's delivered more?
Barnes has delivered more. No, definitely. I think
Barnes has been injury prone as well.
Barnes has been on the news for a while. I think even the I newspaper, Mark Douglas, has been reporting that it's Barnes and Longstaff that's up for sale.
Actually, I had a question actually for Flawless. Does it matter for you if we go? Let's say Gordon's fit for Sunday. Does it matter if it's Gordon on the left or if it's Barnes on the left?
There's no difference.
I was going to say that.
What difference does it make? I actually trust us defensively. It's not a defensive issue.
Exactly.
I don't think we could. It's offensive.
Defense besides the goalkeeper, obviously.
Yeah. Because he's due. He's gonna go on a run now, making mistakes on that.
You're calling it again on Sunday?
Yeah.
St. James Park are going to be on him.
Yeah, because now he's put a target on his back. Where now the crowd are gonna be like, all right, you've made.
They're gonna be on him.
That went on. They're gonna be on him. And then when Leon comes to Old Trafford, the same. Whoever we play after that, you've just unnecessarily just put the spotlight on you like this. Like why? Like this? Telling horror stories once upon a time. Like, what's wrong with you, man? This guy like this once upon a time, with the flashlight. Idiot guy.
You can imagine Mateus doing that and reading out Onana's stats.
Reading out his stats. Hey, just on sight, just hit the target. Hit the target. Just get your float free kicks and corners in and around him, and they'll give you something.
You can imagine when they're at the tunnel, Isak's just looking at him like, it's gonna be that day, bro.
We just didn't need to do all that stupidness.
All right, folks. Chat. Everybody, it's been incredible. We did this extra. It's been Toon Tactics TV extra today because we've had 2 exceptional panels. I'm so blessed to have Strasbourg Steve and Flawless in here. 2 of the best guys I got to meet, especially in my first times coming out on YouTube. They've been an absolute blessing to me, and it's a real privilege, real honor to have them on the show, talking to you guys and spending this time and investing. Really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are in the channel. I'm still learning even how to do the moderate, how to make people mods. I was asking Steven about it. So Steve's going to show me that. So guys,
Steve will show you how to do that. Yeah. Steve,
if you guys exactly. So it just shows you how kind of new I am. So guys, if you can, please do a like and subscribe to both Strasbourg Steve's channel and Flawless's channel. Flawless does so many other content creating as well around all teams as well. So do log on to that. And Strasbourg Steve got some of the best watch alongs ever. So guys, you need to really get onto that. Have I missed anything in terms of you guys? Have you guys got anything coming up this week?
You need a score prediction out of this guy. You need a score prediction.
Look at this prick, yo. This guy, yo.
That's a good call. That is a good
Hey, how about
call.
1-1? How about that? There we go, man.
I just wanted an answer.
We scam a 1-1, man. We scam a 1-1. There we go.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
It really is. Don't do that. But we scam a 1-1. You know what I'm saying? And that is when I say that, people, that is 1% chance, 99% faith.
It'll be tight though. You do. I think it'll be very tight.
Only if you don't even believe that, Philip. You don't even believe that. You think it? We're gonna. And you know what? The only benefit to you lot winning is they might stop City finishing top 5. That is it.
I don't think it's going to be like I honestly think it's going to be tight. I honestly think it's going to be tight.
I don't think you lot pack us up, no, but I think it goes very similar to the game.
We outplay you and like both. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, literally. I think it's very similar to the OT game, which if you look at like the numbers and the scoreline, they don't look that bad. They didn't tell the full story.
Yes.
It's gonna look like that. We have to survive.
Destroyed. You can get absolutely battered, only losing 1 or 2-0.
So is that 1-1 then from you, Flawless? Yeah.
Yeah, 1-1, man. Like I said, 1% chance, 99% faith. 1% chance, 99% faith. People. That's what I'm saying. That's what we got.
And that's the way you got to live, folks. Chat, you've been absolutely amazing with us, sticking throughout. Make sure you guys were ready into the Friday. Make sure you enjoy your Friday, whatever you're doing. Stay blessed, stay well, and as always, folks, take care and God bless, folks.